All right, everybody. How y'all doing today? Just want to let you know you're watching Sports Talk with BWatts Entertainment. I'm your host tonight, Bernard Watts. And first, before we start off, I want to thank our sponsor for this show tonight. That's Ameris Bank. For all your banking needs, like checking, saving, CDs, or loans, contact 770-775-8300. That's 770-775-8300. Want to thank them for sponsoring the show tonight. That's Ameris Bank. Uh, Also, you can contact Melissa Cole. She's the branch manager of the bank. Like I said, the number is 770-775-8300. We want to thank Ameris Bank for sponsoring this show tonight, and they will be sponsoring the show every Sunday for the month of June. So we appreciate them for doing that. Like I said, I got a good show lined up for you tonight. I got my boys. That's RobDaManMedia, along with Coach Dre. And I also asked Greg Setter to join us tonight. We have a special guest, On3 Phillip. So they will be on the panel tonight. This show, we need your input. If you're in the chat, we'll also do a Q&A. So whatever you have for the panel, just put it in the chat and we will try to get an answer for you tonight. All right? All right. Let me get out of this and all right. Let me bring the guys up. Y'all better win for a few.
Yo, yo, yo.
All right. I think I did it right. I'm still waiting on our guest. I know he told me he might be running a little late. He had to go to a wedding, but he said he'll definitely be here. So how y'all doing today? Everybody good?
Yep,
That's
yep,
good.
yep.
That's good.
Let's
That's
roll.
good. That's good. That's good. All right. But can y'all hear me? Everybody hear
Yep,
me?
you good. Yeah, I got you.
All right.
You good.
All right. Like I
Where's
say,
my mic right here?
the way Greg,
How's my mic sound?
I
You
might got
good.
a
Background.
lot of
Background.
noise in the background. Kids. I might got a lot of kids.
Yeah.
I can't hear y'all for the noise.
You good. You good, BWatts.
All right.
I got
Okay.
you. I got
You
you.
got.
I got you.
All right. All right. Like I said, our special guest tonight will be Philip Dukes of On3. I had him on early during the week. I asked him would he come and be a part of the panel. He agreed, and he told me when it was, I think Friday. He texted and said he had to go to a wedding or something. But as soon as he get out of that wedding, he said he should be here. So we're waiting on him tonight. But as we wait on him, let's move on with the show. So like Coach Prime in Colorado, they added again in that transfer portal. Every time we lose one, him and his staff, man, they hurry up and replace one. So we got a new running back by the Isaiah Augustine from Arkansas, 6'2", 208 to add to the running back room. What's y'all thoughts on this running back that we got to have added to the running back room? I start with you, Greg.
Well, I just say, I mean, it's kind of interesting how we went and found a Alto McCaskill type running back, as far as that build, the long build, and the long stride and the upright runner. So I kind of see that as a comparison for what we lost in that area. And he has room to grow if he stay. He can put on another 10, 15 pounds and be similar to what we lost in somebody like Amos, or size, but he has the height. And like somebody say, SEC experience.
Okay. All right, Coach Dre.
I mean, he hit it on the head. I mean, he come from the SEC. He a big long back. He got long strides. So when he get out, he can be able to take it to the house. I don't think anything ever catches Coach Prime off guard. And if you are recruiting staff, I don't think you never start recruiting kids. And so it just opened the door for another kid to come in. Now I felt good if we didn't get another back, but to get another back just made our room just more dynamic. So again, you got to take your hats off to the recruiting staff. They did a heck of a job.
Just another piece into that running back room to create competition. This is the year of contracts. I know people don't probably understand what that means, but this is the year that you're fighting for NFL roster spot, the year that you're fighting for position up the board. So everything that you're doing this year is you're building yourself for a contract, whether it's in the NFL, the UFL, or the CFL. You're trying to go out and get a contract this year. So this year for CU is definitely going to be a contract year because they're all looking for positioning up that draft board.
Oh, okay. Also, while we're right there in that running back room, we still got Charlie O. What's y'all role? What you think the role of Charlie O will be this year? Talk to him, Dre.
I mean, what you know is that kid gonna work hard. Ain't nobody gonna outwork him. You have to come in and take your spot. Coach Prime ain't just gonna hand these new guys no spot. Prime ain't in the business of just handing out stuff. Charlie O gonna work hard. I think he'll probably be in the mix for that third spot. That one and two spot is gonna be a battle between I think three guys, and but Charlie O gonna be a guy that he gonna bring his lunch pail every day. He gonna do everything the right way, and you can't never get rid of kids like that.
Oh, okay.
And
I said, go ahead. Go ahead,
I
bro.
was just gonna say when you look at Troy Alford, dog, man, he's just gonna bring his lunch pail every day, come to work. Good, bad, and different. What you put in front of him, whatever obstacle you put in front of him, he coming to work. He doesn't care. I mean, this running back room has got more competition with adding another running back, but it's only gonna help the best be the best. The cream gonna rise to the top. So if you meant to be out there, I mean, you put the work in, you went out there and got the job done. So you look at Troy Alford, man, a blue horse collar, kid that no matter what, you're gonna see him in the film room, you're gonna see him on the field, off the field, doing the right things, representing the University of Colorado in the right ways. You gotta appreciate that, man, and just look at a kid like that. It's like, man, that's the kind of kid you want in your locker room when you're trying to, create the right environment to move the thing forward. So you gotta appreciate what you get from Troy Alford every single day.
What you guys say, Greg?
I mean, I think everybody hit it on the head. I think at the end of the day, he's going to push that entire room because I know if he get his opportunity, he's going to do something with it. I mean, he's been waiting for a long time. So, I mean, he messed around to get him the opportunity. He's liable to take advantage of it and put somebody in a bad situation. I mean, he's been doing consistent at practice for years now. So, I mean, he's pretty much proven. I would like to see him get in the game. And I would like to see them use multiple running backs. And who knows what we're going to need, if injuries and things popped up. We see what happened in the spring. 2 guys couldn't play. And, so that means that third person would have been playing. So I think you got to have at least a strong 3-4 running backs ready to play and somebody ready to jump in, somebody get hurt. So, I mean, it's going to be important. Even if it's just giving looks on the scout team, it's going to be important for him to be, up to par.
Okay. All right. We got our guest as popped up on us, and first of all, we'd like to say welcome to the show, Mr. On3 Phillip Dukes.
Hey man, don't be calling me Mr. On3.
I mean, like I said, man.
Hey man, real talk, man. I seen them folks the other day going crazy on 3. I was like, damn, they talking about me too.
Oh yeah, they talking about. We gonna get to it. You ain't gotta worry. I ain't gonna put you on the spot. I know I ain't gonna put you on the spot. But the folks want to know. But like I say, man, we appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for joining me Tuesday. Got a lot of response on Wednesday morning when I woke up about the broadcast, and everybody was saying how much they liked your intake on Colorado, even though we disagreed on a couple of things, but they liked your insight on it and everything. But before we get started, Tell it.
Yeah.
Tell the panel and people in the chat that's tuning in and people who may tune in later on about yourself and how you got to On3.
Man, College Park, Georgia. Went to Auburn University. Had a couple of partners that like gave me enough information for me to get a journalism job. I graduated pre-law. Like I was gonna go to law school and be a lawyer. And I really wanted to be a sports agent. And that was cool. But years and years later, 20 years later, actually, man, I was blessed with the opportunity to go to 24/7 Sports, give inside information after I was giving a bunch of inside info out for free on Twitter. They hired me, and then from that point, I'm from Atlanta, and it's a lot of really big prospects in Atlanta. So one of the families I was really good with, on mom and dad, and the player was KJ Bolden, who was the #1 safety last year. One of the biggest. We just talk about impact safety. Like I think he was number 20 overall, but he was just a big impact. Everybody wanted to know about KJ. And I got an interview when nobody else can get it. So that's how I got On3. The On3 saw that and was like, bro, we sent our best people to go get that interview, and only one person got it, and that was you. So they knew I had like really, I had the pulse in Atlanta. So yeah, that's where we are.
Okay,
If KJ
before I
Bolden don't
turn them
have
to the panel and let them ask some questions. I know Tuesday you told me, you said, man, I said, why you just switch over just like that? You said that paycheck. That
Oh
paycheck
yeah,
move.
man, hey, I ain't gonna cap you down, bro. Like I could be myself. I could really be myself on these shows.
Okay.
Like when it come down and when I see folks who, look like me and maybe talk a little bit more like me, then I can really be myself. So when it come down to it, like man, them folk came with a bad. Like I wasn't even trip. Like it wasn't no never mind. Like bro, what? like what? Y'all can do this, and y'all want me to do what? Tell you what I know? Done. So what a lot of people don't know at 24/7 was that I worked at Auburn, but I was supplying multiple websites with information. So basically anything from Atlanta, from where I'm from, is like a very talent-rich area. I'm from College Park, and so that's Langston Hughes, Tri-Cities, Banneker, Hatfield
Okay.
Charter. I went to middle school in Fairburn, so that put me in like me and the head coach at Creekside. They got probably 4 D1 guys as seniors this year. Me and Maurice Dixon went to middle school together, so it's just like basically like I really feel like people pay for relationships, and I was a guy who had a lot of relationships, so that's really how I got on to keep it a buck.
Okay. All right. Turning over to the panel to see if they got any questions for you before we get into the outline of the show. You got anything for him, Coach Ray? Rob?
I'm good. Just welcome, bro. Just
I'm gonna say this, man. If KJ ever need a new home, man, he can pull it up back to Boulder. You know what I'm saying? We recruit him, but he can pull it back up to Boulder if he need one, man.
Man, it's crazy. His daddy is so his KJ Bolden's dad is the creator of the little league system that Juju Lewis was in. So Juju and KJ all them play together. And I think and they're a real tight. TC Lewis and KJ Bolden and Kai Bolden are very tight. So I'm if y'all get Juju, it could be a good thing to get KJ. And I'm not saying KJ's looking to leave, and I don't want this to be read. No kind of.
I know what you're saying. I was just putting it out there. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
yeah,
might as well.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. Like, if y'all get Juju, it's gonna mean a lot in Atlanta because he played with a lot of the top players in Atlanta. Like, people don't even realize, like, his first coach on 7-on-7, or one of his first coaches was Parlay from Franchise Boys, and people don't know Parlay's son is the fastest kid in the country. He ran a 10.14 last year, broke Tyreek Hill's record in Georgia. Maurice Glitton Jr. But it like Atlanta like this, bro. Like all us together. So it don't even it's crazy that you said that, but you'll be surprised about what Juju would be able to do for you guys signing class going forward.
Okay.
Hey, I know the background. That's why I had to put that shout out there for you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let's make it happen.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Allegedly.
Greg.
We gotta keep it allegedly.
All right, Greg said you got any question for Mr. Phillip Dukes?
No, yeah, just shouting out representing Atlanta, fellow Atlanta, Georgia. That's all.
Yeah, you know, I'm from the South Side College Park, man. Like, so like seeing you guys doing what you're doing, it means a lot for me because I went a different route, but I didn't have these avenues available to me. So nah, it means a lot, man. I love what y'all doing, and anytime y'all need me, I'm here.
Hey, I say
All
this,
right.
hey, chat, if y'all got any questions, man, put y'all questions in the chat. We'll try to make sure we get them answered. But they gotta be appropriate, man. I ain't gonna say we're gonna answer everybody's question, but we'll try to answer most everybody's question. So if you got a question in the chat, let us know so we can go ahead and get that answer for you guys. Go ahead, BWatts.
All right. Like I say, appreciate you for joining us, man. And like I say, man, you let a lot of stuff out the bag over there on Tuesday over there. But anyway, we'll talk later about that. But all right, since we was talking about Juju, right? I had it down on my 10th. I think that was the last thing I was talking about. What do you think our chances of getting Juju this year, Coach Dre? And what kind of player you think Juju is? What he
For
brings
me,
to the table?
it's for me, right?
You can go
Coach
ahead.
Dre,
Okay,
we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to you.
All right, so
At the end of the day, this is what I'm gonna say. I think our chances is about 50-50. Um, he probably a once in a lifetime type of quarterback. You talking to a guy who's seen what that looks like. He an NFL caliber QB, no doubt about it. But he just gotta prove it. Um, I like the intangibles that the kid brings to the table. And those are the kind of things I look for. I look for the arm strength, but I look for the off the field stuff. I look for the IQ. I want to know how much he's watching film, stuff like that. But I think our chance is about 50-50 right now. I hear Auburn pushing pretty hard. And right now he's still committed to USC. So at the end of the day, it's about what can we do. Winning gonna help a lot, and then understanding that I think we got the best receiver core in the country, and half of that'll be coming back. You get what I'm saying? Half of that'll be coming back. You'll be losing Travis, Webster, and Horn, but besides that, everybody else has a chance to come back. And when you got a chance to play with a Cam McHale and a Draylon Miller, Marion Miller, and I can't ask for nothing better if I'm a quarterback. So I think we got great chances.
What you think, Greg? Then we'll go to RobDaMedia. Then we ended up with our guest Phillip Duke.
I think, like you said, I mean, they're setting up pretty nice. I mean, when you look at the talent coming back, Baby T.O. as well. And I think the biggest game is going to be retention for everybody, but definitely Colorado, who they can retain. Same thing with the O-line. The O-line is a lot of young guys, too. So that's important when you're bringing somebody in. Everybody not going out the door when you bring them in. But I think Shedeur and Darryl is going to play the biggest part. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about that. And the reason why I say Shedeur is because he's like the prototype of what he can have from an NIL standpoint and from just what it looks like to be that guy at Colorado. Especially, I think he want to commit before the season start, but just Shedeur kind of walking that out, I think it'll mean a lot to give him a vision of, because he fit that model more than any other traditional quarterback. Like when you look at, like, he's not going to fit what the Georgia quarterback is doing, or just that fit is a good fit. And I think what Darryl's doing, I think they snuck a shot of Darryl being down there to count. What was it, Elite 11, something like that, recently, and Darryl was there. Darryl can have a lot of impact because he can show, hey, this is what I did for Shedeur. I can mold from day one. Shedeur played early. He looked like a pro real early. I mean, even when he was young, he looked like a pro. Shedeur don't throw many interceptions. Even though he takes sacks, he don't throw many interceptions. He's very accurate, and it's paying off for his value. So Shedeur has a lot to do with, like, hey, he's the model for a guy like that. Juju and after Juju.
All right, Rob.
Here's what Juju brings to the table. Juju changes the impact of recruiting in Colorado. What people say Coach Prime don't do, right? They don't recruit the high schools. They don't go do this. They gonna do that. Getting Juju changes all that because everybody's gonna want to play with Juju, no matter where he goes. Whether they say Colorado, whether they say USC, you gotta like the opportunity that Colorado's in. If they're getting the last official visit as of right now, I like our chances tremendously. And the more we keep adding and the success of the season is going to play a lot. Now, there's a lot of factors that's going to play into it, right? Him taking these official visits, once you go on an official visit, we already know how things go. Money get thrown around, this, that, and third get thrown around. But it's all going to be about what he wants to value. If you want to talk about star power, impact, and recruiting, you want Juju Lewis because one thing about it, kids want to play with Juju Lewis. You're not going to hear anything bad about him from any recruit, any player that's on other teams that's looking at playing with Colorado. So you got to like the chance of Colorado a lot as these days keep going on, as the days keep moving forward because the impact of high school recruiting can change. Knowing that Colorado has to have a good recruiting class, knowing that all the opportunities that are leaving out of the door for either the NFL draft or just out of use of eligibility. So you got to look at it as this is the big dog, right? You go get the big dog to start building the foundation of this class.
What you think, that Mr. Duke? Not Juju.
I mean, I think when it comes to Juju, like when you think of any school that has the ability to absorb the type of celebrity that he already has, Colorado is one of those schools that you feel like, yeah, he can absorb it. USC, they just had Caleb Williams, who was a first-round pick, actually won overall. So he had a lot that came with him. When you look at Colorado, you got Shador, who's probably going to be a top 5 guy. But Juju, like what people don't understand is he's been bred for this moment for so long. Like there isn't anybody else that we could think of off the top of our heads that has a Travis Scott endorsement deal. So that celebrity that comes with him, I think, really bodes well for Colorado. Right now, I think Auburn is really making a strong push. USC really wants to keep him in the class because when you look at it, the California quarterbacks this year, Houston Longstreet, TJ Lateef. I'm not sure if TJ Lateef is the type of cornerstone guy you want for your class that not in it for any other school, but for USC, I'm not sure if he's their guy. I feel like their guy is either Juju or Houston Longstreet. And outside of that, I think it's really Juju. So I think it comes down to Colorado, Auburn, and USC. And when you think about the fact that who else is USC recruiting that we hear about? Who else is Auburn recruiting that we hear about? Who else is Colorado recruiting that we hear about? We don't hear about a lot of guys at quarterback. So I think he's the biggest domino left in this class. And I think there's a equal chance for him to go to either one of these 3 schools. And you got to think about it. Like he's got 4 official visits like lined up. The 3 schools that we mentioned in Indiana. Like that's it. Yeah, and Indiana is basically a guy that he met, Tino Sunseri, who was at Alabama, was the first guy to kind of identify him as a real player when he was real short. Like, and he's grown. And I think not to go too far, but when people think about Juju, it's not the physical tools. His processor is unreal. Like he's always like been a kid that was like, bro, what made him do that? And his processor is very uncanny. And so I think wherever he goes to school, he's going to be a guy who can step in. I feel like he can step in day one and play.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah. Juju's like, if you got an offensive line in front of Juju, he's going to be all right because when it comes down to this, that processor, I think that's what makes him special more so. He's not like a crazy he has a lot of arm talent, but he's not like the craziest arm talent guy you've ever seen. He's not really big. He's not super fast. He's more of a Bryce Young type guy where he can do everything. But even though he's that height, he can literally like process through whatever. It doesn't matter. Like he's around the best. Like so I just think Juju was a guy who reminds me of Shador based on the processor.
Okay. All right. All right. My second question is, Coach Prime in Colorado sold out their season tickets for the second years in a row. What impact that the Prime effect had to do with that going into his second season? We'll start with our guest, Mr. Duke.
Give me that question again. I apologize.
All right. Colorado sold out their season's tickets for the second year in a row. What impact you think the Prime effect had on that?
It's everything. Like, yeah, think about it, man. Like, Colorado wasn't selling out no tickets before Prime got there. Like, man, Prime the guy. Like, I ain't even like, I'm not even trying to say that like in a weird way. I have
Right.
people like approach me and say, "Oh, well, the Nebraska and Colorado rivalry has been going on." Much respect to that rivalry. I appreciate it. I love it. Whatever. Dog, like people want to see Colorado lose because of Dion and
Okay.
what he brought with him.
Right.
And I'm coming from a different side of the country, and I think that has a lot to do with it. But the fans at Colorado, they don't play the radio, bro. They don't play no Nintendo, no PlayStation, no radio. They don't play no solitaire. They don't play spades. They don't play. Colorado fans do not play, dog. They don't. And I'm just looking at like the numbers when I do a piece on Colorado, man, I can already expect the numbers to be up. And the fans be knowing what it is. And I tell the truth. If I had something bad to say, like I had somebody call me a house Negro. You feel me? Like just because I didn't say perfect stuff about Colorado. But I keep it a buck. And man, Colorado's fan base is really real. And I think that's the real key. It's the fan base plus a few haters. And I think that's why Colorado has done so well when it comes to ticket sales.
Okay. What you think, Rod?
When you look at, ticket sales to generate, like just overall, I mean, I just go beyond the ticket sales, just the NIL opportunities that these players are getting on a day-to-day basis, on and off the field, man. You can't do nothing but say, this has been a prime effect. There's always going to be hatred around the nation because they don't want to see this grow into blossom into something amazing and prosper. But you just gotta be, just live in the moment, and take it day by day. Buff Nation, they don't play around. You say something crazy, they coming for your head. So, I mean, everybody right now knows that the odds is on Colorado, whether you want it to be or not be, right? If you say anything that looks like it's wrong, hey, they don't come correct you. So, there's definitely the prime effect in the situation, but as I'll always speak for Buff Nation, just be patient, man. The days, to the season, it's coming. And the assignment is going to go to a whole nother level, right? Just think about it. The people that's engaged right now ain't even going to be the amount of people that's going to be engaged once that first game comes. The actual casual just fan ain't watching none of this, ain't seeing none of this. All these are people that are just proud, that are super like thrilled Colorado. So just imagine when a casual fan starts to watch college football, where this thing is going to go to another level. So you gotta think about how this is and the type of revenue that is going to be generated from CU, and especially with especially going back into the Big 12.
Coach Ray? Coach Ray? All right, Greg.
I mean, what else you want?
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, he was talking. You coming in, Coach Dre?
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah. I don't know. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I mean, we know what it is. I mean, with Colorado, we know why we all here. I think you all hit on the head. I mean, it's a lot of people that want to see him lose, and every time Colorado win, the intensity only going to increase, just like we seen last year. And it's not even a positive intensity. It's as much as we're excited for them to win, it's going to be just as much intensity for him to lose. And that it's all like feeding it, you know, from week to week. You won this week, will you win next week? And the more games they win, it's gonna be like we went 3 games last year. We messed around and go 5, 6 games undefeated. It's crazy because the haters gonna be looking for blood. I mean, it's just gonna intensify, and then we're gonna be going. I remember last year this time. I mean, last year during the season. So that's what it is. The TV was fighting over him. We had Big Noon and game day the same day. It was weird. I mean, it's like they couldn't wait till the next week. It was like that's weird activity. Everybody want a piece of it. The games were all selling out. So of course the tickets going to sell out. Everywhere they went was selling out, and they kind of died down slowly as you know the rest of the games came on. So it's only going to intensify if they win. That's the way I see it.
Okay. All right, Coach Dre.
I mean, why not? I mean, what Prime did for a university is unmatched. What he did for a city is unmatched. And if you're talking about the caliber of coaches that he has, why would you not want to come play for Colorado? And like Duke said, I mean, these people don't play. They ride or die for Colorado. We talking about the people that came to Colorado, and when you get those people together and they all mesh together, you can't ask for nothing no better. But again, I'm gonna always tell people, you gotta like his calling is being a coach and bringing people together. And what he did for Boulder, just go back and watch them well-off videos when he first got the job and how these people were in tears because some of these people were finna go out of business. They weren't making no money during football season. A lot of these college towns, which I live in one, their businesses flourished during football season. In Gainesville, hey, boy, them businesses who ain't winning, ain't nobody coming. I'm saying that's unmatched.
Okay. Hey, let's talk about a couple players around the Hood brothers. They're out of Atlanta, Georgia. Mr. Duke, you out of Atlanta, Georgia. What do you know about the Hood brothers that Coach Prime has brought in to Colorado this season?
Man, I know Colton Hood, like Colton Hood, a ball player, man. Like, so they uncle Roger Hood, I went to school with him at Auburn. He was a walk-on that ended up getting a scholarship position and went to the league. I think he played 8, 9 years in the league with the Eagles and the Cardinals, I believe. He was a 4'3" guy, super great athlete, Roger Hood. But when it comes to Colton was a baseball kid who he played football and baseball. So his ranking was based like a lot of people slept on him because in 7-on-7 season he was still playing baseball. Man, I talked to him when he got ready to leave. This true story. I talked to him when he got ready to leave. And he was like, I think we're going to Colorado. Like, if you go back and look, before anybody at Colorado had me on their radar, the first thing I said was he finna transfer, and I think he might end up going to Colorado. I talked to him and Brandon. Brandon is a stud. Brandon Hood, Brandon Cole, and he had a real bad knee injury his junior year, and he missed a bit of his senior year. And by the time he got back, a lot of guys already had their running back, so he was getting walk-on positions. But then once they found out he was healthy, he started getting scholarships. So the crazy part about it is, like, a lot of people think that Colorado didn't beat nobody for him, but when they jumped in the portal, man, bro, they had offers. Like, and I'm not saying that because I'm guessing. I'm saying that because I know, not just from them, but from the coaches. Like, hey, man, what they thinking? Because I put it out there so early. And so what I will say is that Colorado got two really, really good ball players. And I think when we talk about the brothers, let's talk about the cousin, Trent Hood, who's actually Roderick Hood's son. So when you talk about like recruiting in football, when you got a linebacker who's a little short, they say he's quote unquote sawed off, right? So that was the reason that with all his production and being 7A player of the year in Alabama and all that, defensive player of the year, he didn't get as many looks. But man, bro can play, dog. I ain't saying that because I'm a Colorado fan. I'm telling you that because I know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't have to tell you that Trent Hood can play. Man, the man can play. So when I think about the Hood, two brothers and a cousin, the Hood family, and Colorado got some guys who could really play, and I think that it really just falls in line with what Colorado's been doing this year, which is adding to the talent level. So when it gets into October, November this year, it's not going to be the same thing as it was last year when you got guys who aren't able to play because you don't have the athletic ability. I think last year you really got into like, man, like you got like, okay, somebody got hurt. Now what? You ain't gonna have to worry about this year. We're gonna see what Colorado really got this year, and I'm excited to see it.
When you look at, Trent Hood, a lot of people look at it because they don't see the stars and all this, that, and the third. When you go turn on that tape, you ain't missing him. He's flashing off the screen. He going there and he handling business. And a lot of people want to talk about depth and they don't think concerns because this player, that player left. These players that's coming in, they can play. Don't let the stars and these ratings from these sites fool you because you could pay to get a star. Being honest.
Okay.
And there's some players that deserve some stars that don't got stars that then turn around and be something on that field on Saturdays. So what you get out of the Hood brothers and Trent, you getting three guys that's coming at her that's going to be hungry, that's going to be ready to eat, that's motivated because people didn't counted them out and they understand they got a chip on their shoulder and they got something to prove. So just be on the lookout because you going to see something from the Hoods.
All right, Coach Drake. Then
Hey, real quick before Coach Drake goes, hey, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, I know I don't do nothing with the ratings, but man, if you know somebody, I'll get offline. If you know somebody that can pay to get a star, call me, bro. Cause, but hey, man, I'm from College Park, but there's so many of these young niggas trying to. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, all right.
It's so many of these young cats trying to get stars, bro. Like, if you know the guy, like the process so crazy, and I feel like it's not maybe the best, but I'm not the guy who's like over that. But what I will say is this, man, it's so many guys who fall through the cracks, and we see it every year because look at all the guys in mid-major football, right? That end up playing at Power 5 or Power 4 football. Like every year, folks fall through the cracks. And the guys that's like, I just want to know the guys who paying for it. And we can talk about it offline because if they paying for it, I got some guys from my hood that I know need them for sure.
All right. Coach Drake.
I think Dukes, I think when he mean pay for it, it's like I'm saying I can make a phone call and make your stock go up. You get what I'm saying? Prime, I was at a camp and Prime said, hey, I can make a kid a 5-star if I want to. You get what I'm saying? I'm talking about phone calls. We ain't talking about, I don't think we actually talking about cash. We just talking about who you in the process. I don't like the process. I don't like the process of going getting stars because it's a lot of kids miss. And it's a lot of kids you say from departments, from what we say, that can't make it to all these camps and can't get seen, and coaches can't get them to where they need to be seen. It's about where you can go to be seen. And if you ain't going to the right camps and being seen by the right people, then you get what I'm saying. You ain't getting none. But back to the question with the Hood brothers and the cousins, hey, they legit guys. And ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. As a football coach, when I turn on the film, that's what I want to see. But the biggest thing is if I turn on somebody else on your team film and I'm asking who that kid is, that's what I'm looking for. The same thing when you turn on Joy Seaton tape, Cash still jump off the screen for me. So for them Hood brothers, and like you say, the linebacker might be the best. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. The linebacker might be the best. I like Cotton though at corner. I think he give us another long, linky corner, and I think he's gonna compete for the job. If he don't start, he gonna be in the rotation, and that make me feel good at the other cornerback. As for the running back, I think he 1 year away. I think he 1 year away because I know they're gonna be real cautious with that knee and make sure he 100% healthy. So I think he'll be more in the mix next year. than he will be this year. But I know if he ready, coach gonna give him the opportunity. But I got him one more year. And the linebacker, hey, listen, everybody better put their hats on because that kid coming. Because he got something to prove. You can tell he got a chip on his shoulder. And I like I said, I just like that kid. No ifs, ands, and buts about it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Greg.
I think from what I've been seeing, I haven't really heard a lot of people mention, but you really pay attention to like the trail. The Hood brothers have brought a couple more guys with them. I know Flapjack, and you see that, you kind of see that connection with this Eagles Land. The Eagles Land is not the biggest school in the world. So when you got that many people coming from one school in quality and coming from other D1 programs, and they all kind of fall in that trail, you see the Georgia connection ability. We was talking about Juju able to bring people. Those Hood brothers have already shown that they're able to draw. So it's a connection, because I know that Michael Welch had a connection with these boys too. They all been around the same ball and been playing each other. And so when you start seeing that those kind of guys come to your school, it may be next year, maybe transfer portal, you might see some guys who they played with against or whatever, and they might start coming to Colorado after they see their success or see some opportunity. These 7-on-7 tournaments and things like that, you see that as well. So the better quality player you get, you kind of start getting some like package deals, and the Hood brothers are already showing that as well.
Okay. I had a super chat in the comment. East Coast Kev said, question. I have faith that Colorado can run the table, but who do you think is a scary game? Pick one. Oklahoma State and Kansas. All right, Mr. Duke.
That's the thing. I think both of them are scared. Oklahoma State because of the offense, where they got a running back and where they got a receiver. But I think Lance Leopold, what he does at Kansas, he's a really good head coach. So I think that's another scare. I think they both equally scary. One because of the coaching, and the other one because of the talent. I think Oklahoma. I don't think Mike Gundy bad, but he's not no Lance Leopold in my opinion.
Rob?
When you look at both of those games, man, it's gonna be two great games, right? You look at Kansas playing in the NFL Stadium at Arrowhead. That's gonna be the NFL moment to pack that thing out. So this is where you won't really see Buff Nation show up, as well as Kansas show up, and then to have that last home game against Oklahoma State, it's gonna be a good one. It could be the battle for who goes to the Big 12 championship game that following week. So both of them games can potentially be those games. What I would say is you can't go into both of those games sleeping, because they got players on those teams that can really go, and they got some things that can cause Colorado some problems, but also Colorado can go in there and stand on business and get the job done. So when you look at both of those teams, man, it's going to be two great games that you don't want to miss.
Greg? Then Coach Dre?
I mean, I think when you look at the schedule, the back half of the schedule, it can be a challenge because of what those games mean. But I think at the end of the day, I keep saying I hope it get back. Somebody get it back. Rotation is going to be critical, especially in the beginning. Like just keeping everybody healthy and keeping everybody fresh is going to play a big part in what the team look like. I know that even last season, everybody was like, we going for a bowl game, but we were struggling. I mean, we didn't know that Weaver was already injured. The line was messed up. Shadur was messed up. I mean, you would have everybody would have to sit out if we had been in the bowl game. It just would have been a bunch of backups anyway. So what's going to matter is how we use our players strategically and get ahead on some teams, and not even worry about what it looked like or the score. Get the wins and preserve the players, and I think that will make the difference in what we will look like when we play this Kansas later and this Utah later and this Oklahoma State at the end of the season, because we're going to probably be really fresh in the beginning. We'll be undefeated, and they're going to be looking like, well, y'all did that last year. Y'all going to go down here. Everybody going to be looking for the other shoe to drop. So it's going to really depend on how fresh and how healthy they keep the players.
Dre?
I mean, this this is what you got to think of. I got us 5-0 coming out the gate, and then you play Kansas State, and that's my scariest game because it's coming off a bye. You'll be coming home from Florida, beating a tough UCF team. A lot of these boys from Florida, will we be riding high? Can we get ourselves back mentally focused to go play a Kansas State team that's gonna have now the only thing I say about that is Dylan Edwards kind of put a little battery in your back for that game now because he on that team. So, but that's a scary game. Like you say, Oklahoma State, they are what they are. They go like you say. I ain't Mike Gundy. No disrespect. I just don't think he's that caliber of football coach like that. And I'm gonna keep telling y'all that Utah scared of me because they're consistent and their coaching staff consistent and they got one of the best defenses. So if we talking about scary games, those would be my three. You get what I'm saying? And like I say with Utah, just because they're bringing back 9 starters, I think on defense, something like that. And I don't want nobody to go off of what we saw last year at the end of the year because that's not equivalent to what we're gonna see when we play Utah this year by no stretch of the imagination.
Okay. All right. Hey, when we look at Baby T.O. from TCU, we look at two freshmen that coming in, Cam McHale and Traylon Miller. What kind of impact y'all think they gonna make on the team this year? Start me off, Coach Dre.
Uh, I've always told y'all I got an 8-man rotation. Uh, right now I got Drake. I got Cam McHale and fight.
You break it up, Coach Dre.
All right.
Great, great.
Greg,
Go ahead, Greg.
you there?
Like I'm gonna say, I'm gonna keep on saying, just like he was hitting at. You got the weapons. Put the pressure on the DBs. Put fresh legs in there. Keep them running. Everybody playing hard. I mean, don't cheat yourself on your routes because you in and out, and just keep everybody fresh and keep everybody and put that, like I say, put that pressure on those DBs. They have to cover those guys because it shouldn't be no letdown. It shouldn't be, I'm glad he out the game. Somebody else should come in with just as much talent and fresh. And if we use our receivers like we should, it will be a problem because, and it will be good for the camaraderie. It shouldn't be no, I ain't getting no burn. You keep these guys rotated, especially like I said in the first half of the season. It's gonna go a long ways for the rest of the season.
I'll say this: anybody that think that a freshman won't touch that field because they're at Colorado, you're crazy. I think the person that's going to touch the field is going to be Draylon, because they're going to find unique ways to get him the ball. But when I look at Draylon, it reminds me of Kevin Coleman when at JSU his freshman year and what they did with him. That's what I think they're going to use with Draylon, putting him on punt returns, putting him in that slide, giving him mismatches to match up against a linebacker or a safety and take advantage of it. When you look at the overall totality of this roster room for the wide receivers, that's one of the deepest rooms that we have. So to be in that top 8, you're probably going to play on Saturday. 9th and 10, you better hope that we blowing somebody out because you may not get in. But when you look at this wide receiver room, I don't want to compare this to the last year at JSU, but you start to get those JSU vibes with that wide receiver room of how they rotated 8 receivers in at JSU his last year, what they did with Kevin Coleman and Travis Hunter, the 2 freshmen on that team. They're going to find a way to put the freshmen in the game to showcase them. It's just a matter of how many snaps they're going to get, right? They might not get that many snaps, but when they do get that ball, it's going to be something electrifying to go make plays. So you got to look at it from that standpoint of they're going to get every opportunity to go out there and play and shine. It's truly up to them how much they stay in that playbook, how much they, on and off the field, they take care of their body and study. That's really what's going to come down to.
Mr. Phillip?
Yeah, I feel like you guys hit everything on the head. Just to speak on somebody I got a little more information on would be Cam McHale out of Statesboro. He's the type of guy, like, he reminds me of Shiloh on defense. Like, man, if he see you, bro, your ass hit, bro. It ain't no
Yeah.
going back and forth. Like, if he hits you, you've been hit. I think he's more so of a receiver prospect. But
Okay.
like Rob said, like with how deep that receiver room is, if he gets a shot on that side of the ball, I don't think they're gonna bring him back to offense, bro. He really, really is a good defensive back, and I think it just depends on how much he's able to process for the defense. When you look at having a NFL offense and defense as far as the coordinator spots are concerned, how much can the young guy pick up? And I think that if he's able to pick it up, he's one of those type guys. Like Travis Hunter is special. Like, and I think Colorado fans don't even they damn near take it for granted. Like, bro, that man is really him, bro. Like, it's
Right.
not. Don't confuse like Colorado and whatever and Travis Hunter with being like, oh, we'll get another one. He's a generational type talent. So when we see other guys come in, you don't want to hold them to that standard. Cam McHale was literally listed an athlete because he can do everything he can do on offense, on defense. I think it's all about the development. He was a guy that Georgia wanted,
Yep.
Auburn wanted, Florida State wanted. They all like that was a real win. And I don't think people understood how much he went cold on people because he was going to Colorado. So to just to sum all that up, Cam McHale is a guy that I feel like, especially if he plays DB and they put him in space and say, go make a play, he's the type of guy that can really make a play as a young guy because his physicality and how fast he is. Offensively, I think it's going to be hard for him to get on the field first year.
Honestly, when I look at Cam McHale, I wanted him to be that rangy safety. They can go be a ball hawk. They can go make plays. Like when I watch film, that's what I see. I know he wants to play wide receiver, and he's a great prospect there. But I think his best attribute to compete this year, to get on that field, to where we can utilize him and utilize an asset to where he can go be a game changer. Defensive back is definitely what I've seen from this year.
Man,
Yeah.
hey Rob, hey, that man like a walking pick six on the low. For real,
Yeah.
for real.
He's good. He's good when you watch that tape, man. I like the way he jump out on the fan. And
But this tells you a lot about that room, though. I mean, because man, they just got Raleigh. I mean, they got Johnson. I mean, people keep talking about depth, and it's like because it got a little shaky. We lost a few, we gained a few, but it's like what we gained is even better in the safety room. And people still not thinking about the fact that we have Stoudemire. I was talking about that earlier. You know, Stoudemire, Travis J. Some people who are there who are recovering. It's like you got so much depth, you forget about people. You forget about what you have. But safety is like, oh, we kind of shallow. We need more DBs. It's like, I don't know. It looks like you're pretty stout in the cornerback and safety room when you think about that, especially with some of the young guys even coming in at cornerback.
yeah, we definitely got the depth this
That's
year.
a fact. That's a fact. I mean, I don't. Again, Cam McHale and Draylon Miller are the two freshmen that I think gonna play. Now I like the kid Angel Lopez more than anybody. You know, he a Florida boy, and you know Hollywood from down here where I'm from. But I think Hollywood might be a year away. But that kid Angel Lopez he for real. No ifs, ands, and buts about how good that kid can be. But those are the two freshmen that you think gonna play. Like I was saying, in the receiver room, it's between them. It's between Cam, Draylon, and then Timmons for me with my 8. My first 7 solid. My first 7, I don't think it's shakeable. When you talking about Travis Hunter, when you talking about Amarion Miller, when you talking about Jimmy Horn, Webster, Baby T.O., Caleb, and
Will.
and Will Shelton.
People sleeping on Timmons too.
But yeah,
Timmons Jr. is tight too.
I mean I like Timmons. I like Timmons, but my thing is I just like if you as good as them freshmen as good as Timmons, it's like what we doing. You get what I'm saying? It's like what you doing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say he on the verge fighting with them boys to play in that 8th spot.
Okay. All right. Let's look at the NIL. What's going on? Y'all think the NIL is hurting college football? You think they're gonna cap it anytime soon? What you think, Mr. 013?
Hey man, don't call me no Mr. On3, bro. Man, I seen how them folk be getting down on On3. I had to get at somebody on Twitter the other day. They was like, everybody on On3 gay and they lame. And I was like, hey, buddy, like, well, let me tell you something, buddy. I'm one of them that got a chance at it. And I'm not too far removed for me to put no, you know what I mean? I reply to that type shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd be like, hey, hit me in the DM, my boy. Like, you feel me? Like, and I ain't trying to talk tough. I'm just being honest. Like, but like, come on. Hey, all right, let me get back to it. Because I got an issue with that. So when you said Mr. On3, it put me in that spot because I don't want nobody going out here comparing me to like I'm a Colorado hater. I am not a Colorado hater. Bro, I'm not a hater, period. Bro, I'm a Cartier glasses wearing, 2 gold, but bro, I'm a player, bro. And I don't hater on no kind of way.
Yeah,
so when it comes down to it, bro, I'm a real player, bro. Southside College Park, man, stop playing with me. So when I just want to get this clear to any Colorado fan, bro, if I say something that just if I ever say something that is not like, oh, he just for Colorado, it's because I got a job, bro. Like I'm a national media analyst. If Colorado lose, I got to say they lost.
Right.
But in the meantime, when it comes down to this, come on, bro, I can't. You feel me? My job on the line. This is how I pay my bills. So at the end of the day, I ain't saying nothing crazy on purpose. What I am saying is this, bro. As long as things are fair and even, I'm gonna kick it to you fair and even. And I want to make sure I put this out to every Colorado fan that don't like. I'm not no Colorado hater. Actually, now take Colorado out of it, bro. Man, hold up. What? Hey, man, I'm a Deion Sanders. Hey, bro, it ain't a lot of people in the world that got this shoe. Period.
Yeah.
It ain't a lot of people in the world that got that in wearable condition. I can wear these to the club tonight, buddy. Like, it ain't a lot of people in the world who got that. So when it comes down to it, I'm not like just a hater. Bro, man, Deion Sanders almost raised me and my partners. Like when I say raised us, being the figure that he was in Atlanta, that's what he did for us, bro. So, man, hell no, I ain't no hater. What I am is a college football analyst. And it's a difference. So, I just really wanted to put that out there, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity and the platform to all you guys. Thank you. But man, niggas be talking to me like I'm crazy. I'm like, hey, buddy, you get your face beat in playing with me, like for real. Like, excuse my language. Sorry. Because they be talking to me crazy, bro. I don't like that.
I know. All right, bro. Hey, but serious though, what do you think about the NIL in college football?
Man, it's great. Like I think they should have been playing them guys, and should have been paying them, and now they got the revenue sharing portion coming out. I think that's really, I think that's really like a sign of the times that people are starting to get their just due. So I appreciate it, and I think that it's gonna level out the playing field.
Great.
I mean, y'all remember this conversation for years about, is it going to happen? What do you think? And now it's finally here. I mean, it's going to be interesting because, you know, you got to share the money. Well, it's kind of like slavery a little bit when you kind of make all the money off of them, they don't get anything from it. But now that you getting closer and closer to more fair share, I think it's good and bad, because I think it's good that you paying the people who actually it's the product. But I think it's bad when you don't have the financial literacy with it, and when you have people kind of manipulating the players with the money, whether it's the coaches or the family or whatever. And if you putting a kid 17, 18, 19 years old And then it makes you kind of like get preyed on even earlier. Like, oh, so you on the way to the NBA. I'm going to start preying on you at 13 years old at the camps. Because you know you can get paid now. I mean, we see NIL rolling back into high school already. So I don't know how safe that is for a kid, especially they don't have a parent. You talking about, oh, they don't have a daddy, and you just got a single mama. You know, hey, who protecting them from people gonna take advantage of them, and especially they can hang $1 over their head. So that's the negative part of it.
Right.
Go
Dre.
ahead, Coach Dre.
I mean, he hit it on the head. What I was gonna say, it's good and bad to it. I do believe you should get paid. I mean, the University of Florida, when Tim Tebow and Percy Harvin, Dallas Baker, them boys was here, they made millions of dollars, and them kids saw none of that. You get what I'm saying? So I believe they should get paid. But what he's saying is we gotta teach our kids better. Because they is going down to high school, and like you say, it's gonna be people preying on these kids. And then I beg for parents to be parents. Just because that kid finna make this money don't mean that he gonna do any kind of way. You still gotta be the parent, but you gotta start that now. But I mean, it's good and it's good. It's negatives and positives to all of it. You get what I'm saying? It's negatives and positives to all of it. If it's handled right. And then this is the thing that why I think what kids get upset about is it's a kid out here at this university that did what he needed to do for your school, and you going out here and paying a high school kid way more money than you gonna pay this kid that I already put on, and that kind of that builds bitterness automatically for a guy walking into this locker room because you getting paid more than I already done put on for my school, and they just trying to get you here, and they willing to give you the world, and so that like I said, that's another negative about it. So you got to work out the little kinks in it, but if we can work out the kinks, and these kids can understand what this money is and what they can do, it can be a great thing.
Got a question for you, Rob. That's you on this. What's the difference between an NIL and a collective?
NIL is name, image, likeness. You just basically you're advertising something, right? Whether that's a magazine or website, it could be anything. What you're advertising, right? It could be some lotion. A collective is just basically, a collective of money that's just been given to you. Now, there might be some stipulations depending on the university that you go to. But when you look at name, image, and likeness, that's meaning that you're putting your face on a brand and vouching for it to help them trickle that to dollars versus a collective. So it's just somebody handing you some money and say, I might need you to go do something, I might not, just to entice you to come to a university. That's the best way to explain it. When you look at the NIL situation right now, the biggest issue I see right now is the division of teams because of money. And it sucks to say that, but some of these teams are going to underperform because certain players got paid more money than the people that's actually producing. Somebody ain't gonna play that's getting a check that's supposed to be playing. Somebody parent gonna come out and say something against the coach because they getting all this money and they son ain't, because when the money dries up and that player ain't producing, then that's when the problems start. So collectives could be a problem, but can also can fix a lot of situations. What's going on right now, a lot of people using their collectives just keep players from other teams because they don't want to compete against those teams. They want to be ahead against everybody. But as this thing keeps coming down year after year after year, these players are going to get smarter and they're going to move to a team that best fits their situation, and they're not going to want to sit. Some situations, some of these kids should sit. But in some of these situations, it could be the other way around. And so you're going to look for an opportunity where it's getting. But when the money dries up and these kids create these bills, the parents, they got to parent and they got to understand financial literacy in that sense. Because if you don't read over some of these NIL deals or these collective deals, you could be in a weird situation. Especially if your kid make it to the NFL and you get one of them 365 deals, where now every time you sign a new contract in the NFL, they still getting something off of it. So you better go through and understand what you're when they start talking about NILs and collectives and you signing stuff, you better get some type of attorney or lawyer involved to understand what you're signing, and don't just sign the wrong thing just because you trying to hurry up and get that fast money, because it could backfire on you.
Okay. All right. Phillip Duke, what's your expectation for Colorado this season after they don't win out from a 4-8 last season?
I think the floor is like 6 wins, and I think the ceiling is 9 to 10. I feel like they ain't gonna lose like they gonna win at least 6, and I think the ceiling is like between 9 to 10. They can go as far as they want to go, but I don't think they're gonna lose no. I don't think they'll win anything less than 6.
Greg?
I think I was the original 10-2 man, and I think a lot of people came on, but I think I'm just gonna take a little twist on it. I don't see them as a 4-8 team. I know that's what their record turned out to be, but far as the talent, I don't think that's the measure for what they should do this year. I think we should have looked at them at least as a 6-6, 7-5 team last year. So when you come this year and think that that's a standard for this year, I think that's underperforming. So I think that them being an 8-win team could be considered a good thing, but to me, it's not a huge jump from what they had last year. So with the talent that they have, and with the Shadors and with the pieces they brought in with Travis, I think they definitely should be, I really want to say no less than a 9 and 10 win team, but I definitely think a 10 win team.
Go ahead, Dre.
I'm like my brother Duke said. The floor, the floor is 6-6. 6 wins. The ceiling is 9 to 10, and that's where it is. I'm in between 10-2 and 9-3 right now. And I told you my 3 games that I'm kind of skeptical about. The rest of them I feel like we should win. And so if we can win one or two of those other games, that put us way ahead of myself. But I do see us competing, at least having a chance to win the Big 12, because of the moves we made this other quarter to solidify the backup that know that our offensive line and our trenches is gonna be better. And so with me feeling better, with me being able to count at least 13 guys, I think that I can count on to play up front and protect Shador even with injuries, because injuries gonna hurt. The same way I look at the running back spot, how now I can look at the cornerback spot, and I feel if y'all really look at it, the best teams got the best backups. They got the quality backups. The best teams got quality backups. Alabama been good because when I take out one kid, I'm pulling out another kid that can do the same thing. Georgia's the same way. When I pull out one kid, I'm putting in another kid that can basically do the same thing. And that's how you build a great football team. And I think that's what Colorado has done.
When it comes to Colorado football this season, everything's gonna come down to the production of the second and third units. What you see from the first units, what you're gonna see, but how much can they sustain the level of what the first team is providing when it comes to that second and third team? That's gonna give you the true testament to what this team is gonna look like going throughout this year. Some people question depth, but when you look at it and break things down, right? If we say we're a better team, that should give us 3 more wins, right? And so if we had 4 wins last year, 3 more wins to put us at 75, right? So that should be the floor. The ceiling should be 9-10 in that realm, right? Because there should be a game where your big time players win those big time games for you, which should give you 2 wins, right? So if you take your 7 wins and your big time players go win you 2, that should put you around 9, and then anything can happen with that 10th game. But when overall looking at this season, the expectations, right, it's going to come down to the depth when it's all said and done, right? The depth of the offensive line and the defensive line. because we ain't doing nothing if the trenches ain't doing nothing. And with the pieces that we got coming in on the defensive side of the ball, with the coaching staff that we got, you got to love what that defensive line is going to look like. Offensive line coming in and gelling, that's going to be the key, right? Getting them to come in and gel, because we've added more new pieces to the offensive line and subtracted pieces from out of the spring. So that's going to play a huge part, right? How fast can we get gel on the offensive line? Defensive line, I think we're in a great spot. The linebacker play has improved with the player personnel that we brought in, but versus what we subtracted. So I definitely like our front seven on the defense, and then on offense is just adding more depth to that unit, because that's going to carry us in the long haul.
Greg, has Coach Prime created a pipeline from HBCU to Power football with the players and coaches?
I mean, he definitely has. I mean, from day one, and we still seeing. So it's 2 years in a row. I mean, we seen him come in with these guys, and they say, can they translate from FCS to FBS with his son and Travis? I don't know why you would doubt them, but I guess they just had to see it. And then we see people like Cameron McCred. I wish Savion had a stayed to further show what he can do. We can see Jeremiah Brown step up. So, you know, we get to see these guys really, really do what they do on this level. And then we get to see Chainsaw come in. We've seen Coach Dazzy get promoted. When we send that whole staff come over. So their success really means a lot, from the opportunity for people in the future, players and coaches included, to show that it can be done at this level. So it's set. It's set from day one. It's set going forward. If Colorado has a great year, it's not just Coach Prime. Everybody want to talk about Coach Prime, not just Colorado. He's done it with a lot of former HBCU coaches or FCS people. So that's what I see.
What you think, Mr. Phillip?
Yeah, I think as long as the guys have the documented production, Colorado is going to continue to excel against HBCU transfers. I think Chainsaw was a really good one that a lot of people wanted. And I think that he's going to be very selective when it comes down to the transfer portal about who can come play there. The level of play at Colorado is different than it was last year. That's just 1 year. And he's raised the total level of being able to play at Colorado in 1 year. So imagine what it's going to look like in 2 years. And what I do know is that Colorado is going to get some guys who may have been like, I feel like Colorado is going to have the type of evaluation where a guy like Chainsaw don't get to FAMU. He came from FAM, right?
Right.
Yeah, he wouldn't get to FAMU today. Colorado would have got him, like, in my opinion. So I feel like HBCU
no doubt
type environment, yeah. But I feel like, yeah, they're gonna get their guys. I just feel like Colorado does a really, really good job at evaluation and what fits their program. So yeah, I know that's kind of a convoluted answer, but when it comes down to it, I feel like, yeah, they're gonna do good. But I feel like they're gonna do even better because they're not gonna have as much of a need to go to HBCU because they're gonna get a lot of them guys on the first time.
Right.
I mean, he hit it on the head. When you got a guy like Coach Riz in the building and stuff like that, and they evaluating that talent, like some of them guys not gonna even make it to HBCUs no more. They gonna get them right off the top. The valuation of talent. I mean, Silman Craig, Jeremiah Brown, Tyler Brown, guys of that nature who have shown you that, hey, it's no different. Shador told you I was just an HBCU quarterback the other day before he beat TCU. Nobody thought I could play, So, and like Duke said, Chainsaw he gonna surprise a lot of people. He made that linebacker room excellent to me, and that's why I tell people, Riz Michael Jackson in Florida, because he gonna go get them boys. Them Florida dogs, and that pipeline from Florida gonna get heavy. They gonna find some kids that y'all ain't never heard of, some diamond in the rough type kids that's gonna come up to Colorado, and the whole world gonna say, hey, where this kid come from? Hey, because that's what we got down here, man. We got to get it out the mud. You get what I'm saying? And we just trying to get the mud off us. So yeah, that's gonna be a lot of them kids ain't gonna even make it.
One of the things you gotta love with the University of Colorado is their recruiting staff. They got somebody from the HBCU realm, somebody that understands, how tough it is and how hard it is to go and recruit against a Power 5 school. So his evaluation of film is just going to be different. His mindset is going to be different from a lot of people because he understands that I can go get a kid that don't nobody got their eyes on, but it's going to come here and produce. And those things get swept under the rug because all you see is you want big names with 5 stars. A lot of these 5 stars don't translate at the college level. They just don't. A lot of these people that are high 4 stars don't translate at that level. They just don't. But you got a staff or recruiting staff that understands, and that's a SOP, right? What we always say, SOP, stand on a purpose, right? They got a group of guys and with the ladies that's on this recruiting team that's has a purpose. They know what they want. They know the prototypical size of what they're looking for, the prototypical player that they're looking for, and they're going hunting, right? They gonna hunt this whole entire year because they know this year is going to be a big year, but they got to replace a lot of production after this year. So you got to go get some players. You got to evaluate, and you got to get this right. You can't miss. Last year, they missed on a lot of players because they need to take a lot of players. This year, you can't afford to be missing on too many guys. So you got to really evaluate, understand what you're seeing, and how that person can help the football team win games next season.
All right. Mr. Phillip Dukes, which player, as a journalist, when you cover Colorado, you'll be looking out for how they perform this year?
Man, me personally, I'm watching Jordan Seaton. I want to see how he does. True freshman at the offensive line is always a difficult position because it's not just about what you do. It's really about what you do in addition to what your teammates do. So when you look at Caden Proctor last year at Alabama, who was the #1 offensive lineman in the country, he struggled until he figured it out. And so I just want to see how Jordan Seaton kind of plays into the Big 12. Yeah, it's not the SEC, but man, bro, the Big 12 ain't it, bro. But that is not high school football, bro. They play football out there. Like y'all ain't in no play conference, and he ain't no play player. Brian Braswell came College Park, Georgia, offensive line coach at Maryland. He really had Seaton on the ropes, and he was telling me all about what he thought about Seaton. He went to Colorado. So I got a lot of information on Seaton, and from what I hear, man, Seaton the real deal, dog. So I'm really interested to see how he plays because if he starts as an 18-year-old, I don't care what nobody say, how good you are, no nothing, man. It's a lot of pressure on you, and Colorado is a pressure cooker. Like it's literally like, bro, like everybody in the country is covering Colorado. Like you can't even get media credentials to go. Like if you ain't start like right now, if you ain't got your credentials for the first game, you can't go.
Right.
No other team in the country is like that. So to see him perform under the lights, which I think he'll be able to. I think IMG did a lot to get him ready. He's just the guy that I feel like is going to be. That's who I'm looking at. Like I'm not saying he's going to be like good or bad. Right. I'm saying that's who I'm watching.
Right. Appreciate that take. Coach Ray, which player are you going to be checking out?
I mean, he hit it on the head. You gotta watch him. But the biggest kid I'm gonna be watching from Colorado is Simon Craig because he's gonna be undersized as a safety. I know a lot of people sleeping on him. I want to see what his draft grade is. I want him to have a hell of a season because I need the draft grade to go up so that he can be drafted. I think right now people are saying, he might be an undrafted free agent, and I just think he's better than that. So when you ask me what's the kid I'm gonna be watching 7 on defense, Simon Craig, because I believe he's a draftable kid.
Rob?
I don't have one player in particular. What I would say is I'm taking a defensive line as a unit. My eyes is on this defensive line. I'm just ready to see them go hunt. Just see the impact of shedding blocks and going and keeping those linebackers clean to go make plays. That's what I'm more in tune of. Jordan Seaton, he hit it in the head, man. Hey, as a kid, you want to keep your eyes on. But when I look at the totality of this team, my eyes is going to be on the defensive line and us being able to control the line of scrimmage.
What about you, Greg?
I think as always, I think the linebackers gonna make or break the defense. So I mean, when you look at one person be Hill Green, the linebacker play pickup last year, then you know 2-3 of those games would have been different. We look at the games pulling away from them, the games they lost. It was the big plays that they couldn't stop the run. It's not that the run beat them. It's just that when they need to kind of seal the game, whether they was coming from behind or whether they was, you know, in the lead, they just give up. You know, you pin the team back on the goal line. They run a 99-yard touchdown right up the middle. Like you can't do that. If you finally make a stop or you put pressure on the quarterback, finally he step up in the pocket and run straight up the middle for 20, 30 yards. Like nobody's there. You can't do that kind of stuff. So the linebackers, you know, as great as our defensive line, as great as our secondary, that middle do what it's going to do. It's going to be no outlet for the other teams to take advantage of.
All right. Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at that linebacker group too on that, Greg. But Mr. Phillip Hood, you said your ceiling was 66. You think the Colorado base will set a 6-6 record?
I say that's the flow.
Yeah,
But
flow out. Yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah.
think they gonna set this 6-6 record this year? They go 6-6.
I mean, if you really believe in Colorado, you got to, because you got to think about it, man. Man, the Post just won one game a year ago, dog. Like it ain't like people. When I talk to people, man,
now. It's technically 2.
let's call it 2 then, Rob. For sure, I'm with
they
you.
gave him back a win.
See, I ain't even know that. Well, last year, okay, let's say 2, but let's say 9 technically. Last year, from what we left the season with, it was 1 win. You mean to tell me 5 wins in 2 seasons ain't an accomplishment when you got to flip around the whole level of talent? Bro, that's a lot. And I think, like, you know what I'm saying? I think people who are Deion fans, you got to become a Colorado fan. Like, stop being a Deion fan to be a Colorado fan. Because at the end of the day, when he leaves, then cool. But, man, don't give him unfair expectations. Like, bro, anybody else, like, if you win, and I said this on 3, and Andy Staples went at my head, and I told the truth. I was like, man, anybody else in the country, if you won 3 more games, it would have been like, oh my God. Imagine Auburn winning 3 more games last year. Imagine Georgia winning 3 more games. Imagine Ole Miss winning 3 more games. Like, imagine Ohio State. Imagine they beat Michigan. Like, bro, like, and it's like, I think the magic of Deion Sanders makes people feel like, all right, cool, like, we need to be winning 10. Now, if you win 10, cool, and we know it's fully possible, but don't get upset because you win 6. 6 is a plus from where you came from, and he's setting up, he's really building a program. Like, that program ain't had nothing going on, dog. Like, for real. Nothing. It might as well have been, he literally, it damn near might as well have been Jackson State, bro. And no disrespect to Jackson State, but we talking about playing in the Big 12. It wasn't nothing going on. Man, Coach Prime is really building that thing up. So be patient because you're going to, like, he's going to build a perennial winner. So that's why I say, man, 6 wins, that ain't no loss. Man, that's a plus.
Okay. All right. What's your take on that, Rob?
I mean, he hit it right there, nail on the head. What I would piggyback to that on that situation is you have to understand there's layers to football, and there's a process. There, you have to build some type of foundation, right? The foundation started last year. That don't mean that we did everything right. Coach Prime can make mistakes. The mistakes they made last year, they went out and started to fix those mistakes this offseason. They started to change the way they recruit because the way they recruited last year ain't the way they recruiting this year. The pieces that they going after this year and what they was going after last year, right? So when you start to look at the foundational pieces being built, 6-6, hey, it is what it is, right? But you can see the growth and the arrow pointing up. and everybody's looking for it has to happen now because everything that he's doing is they comparing it to JSU. Well, he went 4-3 in the spring, and then the next year he went 11-1. It's Power 5 football. There's a process. There's an algorithm that you have to build around this for this to go to another level. All you got to do is tune out the noise, right? It's going to be the biggest key, right? Because there's going to be a bunch of noise. But can the players stay off social media and take out the noise and just play football? Because I tell you this pressure ain't on the UCLA coach. This pressure ain't on Fan Brown at Syracuse. Do I need to keep going on pressure on black coaches in college? All right.
Right.
So when you look at that, the pressure's gonna be on Prime because Prime they want to see Prime win because it opens so many more doors, and that's what people don't want. And that's being real. That's what people don't want because if that door gets open, it might be tough for some of these PWIs.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So when you start to look at it, man, they go 6-6. You got to chuck it up, and just be thankful that you're seeing progress. You're not going backwards. You're seeing progress. It's going to take time to build a program, but as you keep building foundation, you keep building the bricks by bricks by bricks, it's going to come into a powerhouse. And now who's going to better slow it down? And so all we got to do is just take it one day at a time. Don't overskip nothing. Don't go look at no games ahead because the first game of the season is North Dakota State. That's the only thing your mind should be on. How do we get ready and get prepared for North Dakota State to beat them? I don't care about what nobody else doing. That's the first game on the season. This is the most time you got to prepare for any team on the season. That's just being real. After this, you turn around in Nebraska. So you got to focus on that first game. And as long as we live in the moment, right? That would be my biggest thing for these players. Live in the moment of now. Don't look ahead. Live in it. Just get better 1%, and everything else take care of itself.
All right, Greg. Then Coach Ray in it off.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, let's be real. Who we talking about? Because it's like everything else is different parties involved. So when we say success, who? Because technically, what you all said is right, but in actuality, it's not going to be enough because the goalpost is going to continue to be moved. If we talk about there's haters or there's people who don't want to see this new way of doing things, they're only going to minimize your six, even though your six, like you said, should be good for everybody else. But they have a great way in the media of making that 6-6 look like a failure for him. And because people have already bought into this high expectation, he said he's going to win, or he said he's going bowling, they can easily make it. I remember what Coach Prime said last year, and I talked about a lot in some of my videos I did. I listened to him. He said, I think it was after Arizona State game. And he might even said it before that, but I know he said around that time, he said, I'm tired of winning and feeling like we losing. Even when they were winning, even though they was making mistakes, they were winning. And people just nitpicking and picking them apart. Well, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. But the record was, they was going to September looking good. And it's like, it's two sides of this thing. On anybody with common sense, yeah, logically, the numbers show it went from 1-11, 1-10, whatever, to this in a couple years. That's commendable. But you also got to look at not only the expectations are high, but the criticism is high. So that's why I said they got to do better than 8-4 to really earn respect. It would be great compared to what you're comparing it to. But he said, I don't want to be dominant. We're going to be dominant. He's throwing these words out there. The fans are taking it around with it, and the haters are hanging it over his head. So for him to really, really, really kind of like get some respect, and even then, I think he can go undefeated. Remember at Jackson State, he went undefeated, and it was like, but you're going to lose the next game, but you're going to lose the next game, but you're going to lose the Celebration Bowl. And it's like, if you had won a Celebration Bowl, well, you're going to go lose in Colorado. It's like people holding their breath to see you lose, even if you're undefeated. So it's like, I don't know what's the real goal here. It depends on who you're talking to.
All right,
Goal
Coach Ray.
expectation for everybody. Just it's all different. Go ahead.
Listen, this it. Even in life, everybody wanted microwave, right? that just ain't college football. And that is not nothing that's worth anything that you want to build. Like Duke said, they won one game. He won 4 last year, right? With the possibility of you listen to Greg, they probably should have won at 6 games isn't enough. I don't, like you said, I don't know what to tell. You won 6 games. Do I think we're going to win more? Yes. I don't want nobody to think I don't think we're going to win more, but if we win 6, we've done better than what we did last year. We have built the foundation. Now we laying the brick by brick. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all want wood houses. Y'all want somebody can blow down. Prime ain't trying to build that. Prime. I keep telling people, at the end of the day, we will no longer stand on business. We're gonna stand on purpose. You heard Bruce say that. I came up with that because if you ain't got no business, if you ain't got no business, if you ain't got no purpose, how you gonna stand on business? So we gotta believe in what Coach Prime and these coaching staff is building at the University of Colorado. And just back them. Good, bad, or otherwise.
Okay. Phil Dukes. I was checking out your interview with Coach Fle. Tell us something about that interview. What you think about how that interview? Some things you took from that interview.
Hey, Coach Fle real. I like Coach Fle a lot. Based on the fact not just because of where he's from, but how he carry himself. And when you look at the history, he was a head coach and he was able to kind of shrink himself in the moment to go into a secondary role to support somebody. And right. I think that's huge. It's always hard for somebody to shrink themselves to go into a secondary role. And when he got the opportunity, the biggest takeaway I had, he said, "Dude, man, when I was the head coach at Jackson State after Deion had his issues, I never tried to steer the program to me. I always wanted to make sure they knew whose program it was." I thought that was huge. He could have been on some hater type stuff. He could have been whatever, but I just think his loyalty and just being a real stand-up guy. He the type guy you trust around your children. Just because you know that he ain't got no ulterior motive. Wife, children, whatever. He's a trustable, loyal guy. And I think that says a lot about the program which y'all building. And the next thing that I would say would be from that interview, when I asked him what's something that you would change from this year to next year, he said he wanted to develop more leaders. He put the onus on him. He could have easily said, "Oh, I ain't got no leaders." No, he said, "I want to develop more leaders." That's different. Right. He said, "I want to work on my development because I want more leaders." He said, "I got a room full of dogs." He went into who he had, Michael Welch and these guys coming in. He even gave a hint to saying he was going to get, off the record, I knew he was getting Agustave from Arkansas, and he hinted to it on camera. But he still was just no, dog, I really want to develop leaders because I got a bunch of dogs. I got a bunch of guys who could play football, but I want somebody who's going to impact the team off the field. I thought that was huge, man. I really love what they're building out there, for sure.
Okay. Rod, got a question for Phil Duke?
Yeah, so my question to you is, when you look at, your alma mater of Auburn and the state they're in right now, in the state of Colorado, I heard one of your colleagues from On3, so they said that we coming, right? How would you assess the state of your former college to Colorado right now?
I think it's apples to oranges. Just based on the fact Auburn last year, like the talent level was bad at Auburn, but it was SEC talent. And then you look at Colorado, it was bad, but it was Pac-12 talent. So now going to the Big 12, I just think that it's a little different based on the like. I think the expectations are a little bit higher based on like because of what Auburn started with. But I mean, it's a hard question because I think like man, Colorado ain't finna be sorry, bro. Like because at the end of the day, you like we could break it down position by position. Quarterback, Colorado. Running back, Auburn. Offensive line, I think it's a toss-up. Wide receiver, toss-up. Defensive line, probably Auburn. Linebackers, I probably go with Colorado. Secondary, toss. So it ain't like when you break it down from knowing what's what. I don't think it's that far apart. I think the only thing that would be the difference would be SEC experience, just because of like the level of play. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, shit,
Yeah,
Auburn won shit.
I'm just talking about
Auburn ain't win nothing but 6 last year. Like, you know,
Right. Yeah, I just been
I'm
saying that. They
keeping it a
win
buck.
big game.
Yeah,
I
you
wasn't
feel me? Like,
necessarily talking
I'm
about the
Yeah.
keeping it a
players.
buck with you. Like, Auburn ain't win nothing but 6. And you know, just keeping everything being equal. Shit, Auburn barely beat Cal last year. When you go back to look at last year,
Yeah.
barely beat Cal. So it's gonna be hard for me to say who's gonna do better. But in comparison, I think Auburn started. Put it like this: if you in the race, I think Auburn had a head start based on the talent level.
Yeah.
Or
I'm just talking
where
about the state of the program, not necessarily the players, just the state of the program of what you seeing from what they're trying to build in Auburn and what you see at Colorado. You know,
I
being
think
your relationships.
I think it's real similar. I'll say that. I think it's similar. I think those are 2 programs on the way up because you look at the floor where they was at. Like Brian Harsin from who came from Boise State, man. Like it ain't gonna lie, bro. He ain't do the best job, dog. Like now, you know, and I know him, and I feel like he treated me well, but he did a bad job in there. Auburn. I'm just keeping a buck with you. So the floor was so high, it ain't matter. I could have coached, and they would have been happy last year. You feel me? Like, but at the same time, it's like, man, you look at what Auburn's used to and what they've and the height that they've reached. I think it's gonna take some time to get back there. This year, a lot of people were disappointed because they didn't get a quarterback. Like, I tell you one thing. If you want to keep it a buck, if you take Shedeur Sanders and put him on Auburn, they're a national championship contender. I'll say if I can't say nothing else, you take Shedeur and give him to Auburn, that's a national championship contender. You can do what you want to do with that. Not just you, but just anybody. Like
Right.
you feel me? Like yeah. If Auburn has Shedeur, bro, they national championship contender. Because what he brought in, like, bro, I don't like man, Cam Coleman a real deal, buddy. Like,
Oh, trust me, we
yeah,
know.
but ain't nothing to play with. Zero. And I think like what you can get out of Cam Coleman on offense, you can get out of Travis Hunter on offense. Like they're similar talents. Similar. I'm not saying that he better than him because Travis Hunter does so much more. But just as a wide receiver, Travis Hunter may be the best high school kid I ever seen in my life. But Cam Coleman ain't far from it. I watched Travis when he was at Collins Hill when he first came up from Florida, and Marcus Woodson was recruiting him, who at Arkansas right now, and got his heart broke when Deion came in the picture. Never thought he was gonna lose him to Deion. Like I've been watching Travis a long time. He's very special. Cam Coleman is not far behind him, bro. I'm telling you. So I would say they both on a similar trajectory.
Okay. Greg, you got a question for Phillip Duke?
No, I'm good here. Pass to the coach.
Coach Dre?
Hey, I'm good here, baby. I'm good. Hey, man, I'm good here. I'm just glad bro came on and blessed us with his presence. You know, bless us with his.
I got some more questions. See, y'all gonna leave it all on me tonight. I'll say this. When you look at the landscape of college football, what is one thing that you would like to see improve, or just whether it's at any round, what would you like to see improve out of college football from your landscape?
Now I'm glad you asked me that, bro. Like for real. Like I want to see them draw the line on collectives. Like how are collectives going to be able to impact the game, even though they're doing revenue sharing going forward? They still not talking about collectives. So put it like this: everybody gonna have their $20 million to do whatever they want to do with it if you're in the Power 5 conferences, right? That still don't mean a collective like a collective can get together and say, okay, we got $10 million. All right, let's such and such. Let's say Billy Joe, you got a business doing this. We'll give him an NIL deal and say he'll only get the NIL deal if he come to Auburn. Like, it's still finna be crazy, and it ain't like, cause like the toothpaste out the tube, you cannot put the toothpaste back in the tube. So I really would like to see them say, you know what? And I'm not hating on none of the players, because a lot of these guys from my neighborhood, and I really appreciate them. But what I am saying is this: like, they got to put some type of controls on it, where it's like, make it even for everybody. If you get to the point where you got, if the only factor is recruiting, I think college football changes immediately. Give everybody the same money based on position, and then watch college football change.
I agree, because then it's gonna come down to per opportunity and development.
Yeah, it get different, right?
Yeah, it get real different.
Yeah. That's what I want to see. I feel I really want to see that. And as a guy who watching kids from my neighborhood like go crazy and get tons of money, at the same time, I still would like to see it where everything being equal, based on the conference you go to and who recruits you, how much money, and then the collectors like you know, ain't nobody coming to give you an extra $1 million to come to this school. Just go where you want to go because you like the school, and then we figure it out from there.
I don't know if that will be how they, if they're you know, kind of making it hard for Dion to not change certain things, because he's kind of doing that. He's balancing out, not based off of money, but just based off of doing what you do to get the guys there. If that was the case, we wouldn't have the Alabamas and the Georgias and all the teams that to get all the 5-star guys. So I don't think they ever want to give away their advantage. But if I did have a question, I would say something like, what do you think the impact of the portal as it is that they're going to have on the future of the team, as far as like the stability of the teams and to be able to, everybody talking about building a program. How do you see teams being able to build a program with the way the portal is operating today?
Man, you know what? I think the portal just gives you more information, right? You got documented production from guys when you go to the portal. If you get a guy off practice film, then you desperate. Period. I mean, like, you know, so I think it just gives you more production points and more information on the guy to figure out what they gonna do in certain situations. Like in high school, all you can see is high school, and you can develop him. But a guy in college, you really got to be, and it makes your evaluation got to be that much better, because you got to be spot on. If you see somebody and you say, hey, I saw him do this against them, so it should translate here, and they don't translate after you see this kid play against somebody else, then who the coach gonna be mad at? They're gonna be mad at the guy who recruited them, because it's like, bro, you saw this and you still thought that was gonna be this here. So I just think, man, the transfer portal tricky as hell, dog. I ain't gonna lie to you, because some guys just play like, you know, for anybody who watches football or play football, you know, like certain situations cause certain type of play. If that wasn't the case, then momentum wouldn't be a thing. You ever see when a team get momentum, it's like now John Elway at quarterback, and now Julio Jones, like, I'm 5'9", but I'm Julio Jones because everybody crunk around me. Like, football is a very special sport to where, and I ain't saying the other sports don't, but football momentum is so crazy. So I just think that the transfer portal, to sum all of that long ass answer up, the transfer portal is one of them things where it's like you get more documented information on guys, but it's also a gift and a curse, because if you miss and you had all that information, the coach gonna be looking at you.
But I'm saying, like, how do you affect the stability of a team? Like, how players are able to move around now. We see they're able to move more freely without, like in the past, having to sit out or have to go down a level. How is that going to impact your ability to build a program? You can get a guy and get all these great people in this year, so they have 2-3 years of eligibility, but next year you can lose half of them. So it's like you're building something and you constantly restart, and you just keep doing that versus just going up like you want to.
It turned football into basketball. I don't know if you remember the one and done rule, right? They was like, okay, cool. Like when the one and done rule came out in basketball, John Calipari was the guy, and you had other guys. He was the guy at Kentucky. Penny was doing good at Memphis. You got all these guys who getting all these recruits, but they weren't winning no games because they had no chemistry. So it's gonna make coaches. The way I feel about it, the transfer portal, it's gonna make guys feel like they're gonna have to find the right balance because you just can't. It's no way possible you can just go get a whole bunch of guys at the portal and think they're gonna ball together and they ain't play together. Look at Michigan. And
Right.
Michigan won it last year, bro. For real.
Yeah.
And they ain't had no ton of portal guys. They had some guys, but man, a lot of them guys was developed there. So it's gonna be hard to just be like, all right, you know what? Let's go get a whole bunch of guys out the portal. Think about the offensive line, bro. Man, you can't just get a bunch of guys and throw them on the offensive line and think they're gonna be the best line in the country. Because I gotta know what this guy next to me is doing. And the more games I get next to him, the better it makes me because I know not to take this false step to the left because your first step is to the right. And that's what the transfer portal kind of affects people when it comes to real football. Me knowing what the guy next to me is doing. That's important. Bro, I ain't played nothing over high school football, bro. And even that would impact me. You feel me? Like, I don't like, so when you think about like football being played, bro, I think the transfer portal, it comes down to consistency and understanding what the guy next to me is doing. And when it comes to building stability, you have to have a healthy balance. Colorado had to go transfer portal heavy based on how bad. I ain't no disrespect to nobody, but that roster was bad, bro. Clemson did so well high school recruiting, they didn't get none. Right? And you can look at both of those to see Clemson, if they had one or two, they probably would have been a little better. And if Colorado had a few more high school guys next year, they would probably be a little better. So I think it's just a balance of trying to find out what's the healthy balance in the portal, if that makes sense.
Well, and so being that you talk to a lot of college coaches, what would be the biggest concern that you hear a lot from these college coaches?
You recruiting every day. A lot of them just be like, bro, I got to recruit. I could win a recruiting battle and still not win it.
Yeah.
I got to recruit every day. I think tampering is a big thing in the portal. In college football. Like, they always worried about, like, all right, well, I beat this guy today, but if I don't keep him happy through the spring, he could leave again. Look how many folks like left in the spring after they just signed this year.
Right.
Yeah, just think about all the players that left soon as Nick Saban retired. It just started chaos in college. Just
bro, come on, bro. You feel me? Like, it ain't like these folks like really like you gotta like they really be like, bro. I don't know if you notice, man. People are taking pay cuts to go to the league because you ain't gotta deal with that. You can just coach.
Right.
If you're not a recruiter, this is a hard time for you in college football because you got to recruit every day. Imagine having to get on a guy because he's doing something wrong and he keep doing something wrong, and it's a guy at another school, a smaller school, saying, "Oh, you came over here, you won't have to do that." Yeah. He could be saying that through a trainer. He could be saying that through a high school coach. He could be saying that through anybody. But somebody is recruiting your guys at all time, and I think that's hard to know that, bro. Your players, even on your roster, are always getting recruited.
Right. How about the outside family members that know somebody at a different program that's shopping you around? You don't even know the kid being shopped around. The kid can be happy at your school, but getting shopped around by a family member because they're looking for a bigger opportunity for money.
Man, bro, money and opportunity, and because I don't like how he talked to me. It's guys that really leave schools because I ain't finna say no names, but there's some guys who left Colorado because they
leave school.
Yeah, because they ain't want to be coached hard. And when you at a certain ilk of talent, you don't have to because you can leave because somebody's like, oh yeah, I come over here and we gonna make the defense to fit around you, bro. It's hard, bro. And I say that to all schools, like not just Colorado, but you got to be recruiting 1,000% of the time, and it makes your job hard because what happens when you got to get on a guy's ass? Okay, you gonna get on my ass? Okay, cool. I'm gonna wait till December. Then you're gonna be hurting.
Yeah.
You might be stuck in that portal, might not get out of it.
But the thing is, and that's the one thing as a coach that I don't like. It's like you holding coaches hostage because, like you say, you trying to coaches can't coach because oh, I can't say this to him because, oh, he might do this and this and this. But you got a guy like Prime who's telling you, hey, the door open. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to go find, you get what I'm saying? And I think once coaches get that mindset, but I understand that's how they pay their bills. So I understand that's why they do it. But me as a football coach, I think I said today in the post, man, you got to find out what your calling is and go do it, and then it won't feel like work. Like I tell people, I
Yeah.
coach because I want to change young men's lives. I don't coach for wins and losses. You get what I'm saying? I've been a successful football coach, but it ain't because I'm just this hell of a X and O guy. It's because I do the right thing and I try to do right by kids. I try to do right by parents. And I think if coaches get that in their mindset, but again, when you in college, that's what you're getting paid to do. That's how you making sure your family can stay in this one position. So you might, you get what I'm saying, but you hurting kids in the long run, especially kids that look like us. Especially
Man,
kids that look like us. Because
you,
I mean,
you
I tell
said,
you,
if you've been babying
well, you
them,
said something, coach.
yeah, especially ones like us, because that's why you see this going on. And I tell high school coaches that all the time, hey, y'all got to be tough on these kids. Because right now, if we don't teach it to them now, they ain't going to get it in college. Because, again, this man job depend on it. You know what I'm saying? This man's job depend on it. But if you let these, like I tell people, we just made him play the spring game the other day. Friday, when we got into the field session, my best player, the first play we went to was the play you messed up on. You see that? You're supposed to be in cover 3, buddy. What you doing? So everybody in this room know that he gonna get the same treatment that everybody else get. And and like you say, when kids respect you for that, and you that's what it's about for me. Like and so we got to get that back. If we don't, we gonna, like, college football gonna become a clown show. It's gonna really become a clown show.
And to piggyback on what you're saying, bro, we gotta say that, dog. Like, because at the end of the day, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It feels different when other people say it, and I ain't gotta say who, but it feels different when other people say it. But I'm telling you, we gotta say that because we gotta hold each other accountable to the point where it's like, bro, you ain't getting it. So don't put that on them. If you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, then you're not doing what you're supposed to do. But we so quick to run away because
Right.
and I
Right.
seen in the Colorado program, folks quit to run away, and I know for a fact they got opportunities to be developed. But man, if you don't want to be coach hard, to what? Well, excuse my language. Boy, I'm finna say something crazy, but I'm finna. hey, man, like,
but
nah, man, don't do that. Don't. Like, if I was a coach, man, don't bother me if you don't want to get coached. If you're finna
There
start
you
up,
go.
go to one of them
There
other
you go.
schools, bro. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
I see it, bro.
but see,
Like
a
where
lot
I'm
of this,
from, bro, we got the powerhouses out here, bro.
Right.
Langston Hughes, powerhouse.
Yeah.
Westlake, building Westlake had the most NFL guys in the league at one time from a 3A school in Atlanta. Like, bro,
Right.
the kids that can't cut it here, they go to other schools. But guess what? Ain't no like the transfer portal here is like, you got to come here to get recruited in some aspects. So them boys, they do not play the radio with them. You can't do that in college, and I hate it for college. I hate it for college, bro.
well, see, here's what's happening. It's trickling up. You starting at their youth. They got to be on a winning program, right? They don't want to go through the process of developing a kid, and they might take some L's, some bumps on their head. They got to be on a winning team, even though they might not play. They got to be there just so they won.
Yeah.
Well, now as that kid gets better, you're teaching that kid. Well, now you can go to middle school. You can transfer, right? We gonna play football over here. Then we gonna play basketball over here. Then we might play baseball over there. Now they get to high school. Now they transfer to 4 different high schools. Then they get to college, and it's like, oh man, this ain't what I thought it was gonna be. Because all your life, all you knew was if the situation didn't work out, I could just transfer. I can go here.
Yeah.
Or if I didn't like that coach, I can go there. But then it's like, you missing your opportunity, you missing your blessing, you missing your calling because everything all your life you've been running from every time a problem hits. And we gotta own it at times. And sometimes accountability be the biggest key.
It come from parenting. Like I tell people all the time, I ain't the best parent in the world, but Anthony Richardson, who was the number 4 pick in the draft, in high school he had 1 winning season. People told us he couldn't. Oh man, you got to go somewhere else to go to school. No, you don't. We had every college in the nation. Every college in the nation wanted to come down this little old black school on the east side of town to come see this boy throw the football. You get what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
we got to make ourselves valuable. We got to make ourselves valuable. You know what I'm saying? Dude, we had 19 seniors, bro. We got 14 of them in the school, but they said we couldn't do it from no black school over here where y'all don't give us nothing. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Well, we
No,
got to go out and get it off the
I'm with
muscle.
you. Go ahead, Cole.
You get
I'm
what
with
I'm saying? But these parents, but it's the parents though. It's really the parents. And like Rob said, it starts in little league, translates to middle school, it translates to high school. Like some of these kids, that's what they know. Hey, I'm going. I go where it's win at. You ain't never built no character. That's why one thing I like about Prime is you got to have some character. And what I'm telling you got to teach kids character. You got to teach them loyalty. If you don't teach them that, I don't expect them to show you that. So I don't get mad with kids when they do it, because when you sit down and you really talk to them, they'll tell you, oh, man, I don't know what that is. Man, I just been chasing the wins. I've been chasing, hey, this what they said was going to get me this, and this. And look at how many kids fail. Like you say, look how many kids stuck in the portal. We talking about big name kids still stuck in the portal. Big name kids still stuck in the portal. So,
Yep.
I mean, we gotta teach kids better. And like you say, we gotta hold ourselves accountable. Like I tell my kids all the time, hey, y'all got a lot of associates, cause real friends, and I want you to tell me when I'm wrong. Hey, bro, that ain't gonna work. You get what I'm saying? That ain't gonna happen. Like I told my son, what you want to do? You want to go get in somebody else's wagon, or you want to pull your own wagon? He said, Dad, I'm gonna pull my own wagon. All right, well, let's do this. That's it. I don't subscribe to whatever else nobody else got going on, because that don't matter. You get what I'm saying? It just don't matter, because in life ain't gonna be that easy. And I think that's why them kids struggle with football over with, because all the time you've been a star, and when you ain't the star no more, don't nobody care no more. Now you don't know how to act. You get what I'm saying? So that's what you got to do, man. We got to do better with these kids.
Facts. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly, man. Like, bro, I watch it every day, man. Like, even before I got into sports, I was around so much of this stuff. Like, that's how I got into sports. I've only been doing this 2 years. Like, I ain't got no journalism degree or nothing like that, bro. Like, I just knew everybody from where I'm from. And watching these kids, like, just being a guy who people ask, like, hey, what you think we should do? Because I have a documented, like, sense of knowing, like, making good decisions. Bro, we make bad decisions and they're emotional. We make a lot of emotional decisions when it comes to football, bro. A lot of it. And this transfer portal, if I say anything about the transfer portal, I will say this. The kids that go in the portal should make really logical decisions and not emotional ones. Because a coach can hurt your feelings one day, and your feelings are your feelings. I don't know what hurt your feelings, bro. But you'll leave a great situation because you don't like what somebody said to you, instead of trying to figure out what was the message and what was being said. And I think that's the most dangerous part of the portal. I love the fact that players can hold themselves to the same standard as coaches, because the coach can get up and get the hell on whenever they want to.
Right.
I love that part.
Yeah.
The part I don't love is we're giving this power to 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20-year-olds who may not have the emotional intelligence to make the best decision for themselves at that age. That's the only part that I don't like about it. But outside of that, hell yeah, like my nephews, I got some nephews that play like they should be able to go where they want to go. But they got me and they got their daddies. Like, I know what's going on there. But you got kids who don't have nothing, literally. And I'm gonna leave you alone, and I'll stop talking after this. I know a 5-star recruit that literally just got in the portal from a playoff team last year that didn't have a single, both his parents alive, and they both active, but not a single parent went on one official visit with him, and he took 5. A 5-star, and he just got a bad to go to school.
Gotta do better.
Bad. I'm telling you, bro, like it's ugly out here, dog.
Yeah, I
And,
see.
It's ugly.
and some of that stuff though, or
Ugly.
some of these players going into the portal, is some of them getting bad advice from people that's representing them, and it ain't the player. And sometimes we get upset because the player leave and we have so much of emotional attached to them, but they not realizing some of this has got to do with the outside people more than it got to do with the internal people that's really around the kid, because they trying to secure. And now you start to bring in, now you got agents that can be at the college level. They ain't got to wait for them to get to the NFL. They get the pitch off of that too to keep their business going. Oh, they gotta get their fee out of something. So they finna pitch the idea to somebody they know off of relationships. Because the whole name of the game is about relationships. It ain't even about what's best for you and your interests. It's about, man, who I got the best relationship to that can give me the most money, that can help pay X, Y, and Z. That's what it's coming down to now.
Period. And that's why I say parents, any parent that's in here listening to us, you moms, dads, especially you single moms, you don't let nobody speak for you and your child. That's your child. You need to be in every room. You need to listen to every conversation. You need to know what they talking about with your child. You don't let nobody speak for you and your child. You speak for you and your child, because you need to know what's going on. Because like Rob said, like you just said, behind closed doors, people making back deals with your child that you ain't got nothing to do with, that you ain't getting no money off of, that y'all don't know nothing about, and it also is ruining relationships with you and other people, and you don't know nothing about why these people looking at you sideways because somebody else making a deal for you. So always know what's going on with your child. You are the parent, and you have the right. So you need to know what's going on with your child.
Well, y'all make some good points on that, man. Y'all got any more points? I know we're supposed to be doing a rapid fire, but I don't know my time. But I just throw one question out there off this rapid fire. Just check this out. I'll let you start off with it, Phil Duke. If Peter Ward from Florida State, you remember him when you were playing, right?
Come on, man. Peter Ward stay
I,
down the street. That's my partner, Peter. That's my
I,
partner. He stay down the street right now.
okay, and
He in Atlanta. He ain't
oh
from
yeah,
Atlanta, but
okay,
yeah.
and you got Florida, Percy Harvin. If they hit that transporter today, what would their value be?
Man, M off
Them
top,
boy
man.
was some
Hey man,
dogs
Peter,
back there, boy.
look, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
Ah,
Like,
hey, them boy was some dogs back there. That Percy Harvin from Florida and Peter Ward. So talk to me, big dog. How much? Damn, say a trillion.
hey
so
man,
so what you
hey
think, Philip?
man, look, if they say Jordan Addison got $1 million plus, then you got to give Peter at least 2, bro. Like, I don't care
Hey,
nothing about what we saw it on this side what happened in the league. I'm talking about what I saw at Florida State. Like, yeah, Peter got to get, man, whatever they 3 million, 2.5. I say 2.5 Peter for sure.
here's what I say: just hand him a blank check. That's the best you're gonna do. Give him a blank check, man. You fill that thing out, man.
Them boy changed the game back then, boy.
Hey, I'm gonna put y'all on one too, man. So I'm pretty good when it comes to player comps, bro. The closest thing I seen to him in high school, bro, it's a kid that named Ryan Williams who went to Alabama this year, bro. Man, I ain't seen nothing like him, bro. And I love Cam Coleman. You know, I'm an Auburn guy. I think Cam Coleman's really good, bro. Bro, that Ryan Williams, just on some football stuff, not college, just on some football. Bro, watch Ryan Williams this year, bro. I ain't seen nothing like him. Go watch his high school tape, bro. He the closest
Okay.
thing I see to P-Dub and Lavernius Coles mixed together, bro. He got like Cole's speed. You remember they had Coles on the other side, right?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he got Cole's speed with P-Dub moves like. So just watch that one. But yeah, man, I'm so glad you brought up P-Dub, man. Shout out to P-Dub, man, too, fool.
That boy was to wreck that thing out there, boy. He sure did, man. And let's see what else I had on here. Oh
Let me
yeah,
ask
you say. Oh
y'all,
yeah, you say.
let me ask y'all some questions.
All right, go ahead.
BWatts.
Yeah.
Hey man, hey how many games do you think Shador has 4 touchdowns or more in this year?
Ooh, that's a
Every
good
one of
question.
y'all getting one. So Greg, you ready?
How many games? I think. Let's see. Now the first game he gonna have 4. I said it out of 12 games, 4 touchdowns or more. I'm gonna say 6. I'm gonna say 6. That's my answer. 6.
I like that.
I think it's gonna be 6.
That ain't bad because if he got 6, if he got 4 in 6 games, that's 24. That's easily a 42 to 45 touchdown season. Easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you gotta look at I'm looking at the first half of the schedule because the back half is gonna be, you got Oklahoma State, Utah, Kansas on that back. But that first half, them first 5, 6 games, oh yeah, we're gonna get that.
Yeah.
We're gonna get that. Now the key thing is if he can do it against Nebraska, we gone.
Yeah.
We gone. Go. Well, there you go now. He go. He on his way to the Heisman Trophy because I'm telling you, Matt Rule, ain't nobody saying it. Matt Rule hate Deion Sanders. I ain't talking. Bro, I'm telling you, he hated him. He hated him. The reason why he hated him because he got some guys up under him haven't gotten a chance to coach a Power 5 football, and they didn't like how Deion came up. I worked with a dude that talked to Matt Rule. I'm telling you what he be saying. I know. I'm telling you, he hate Deion Sanders. And by that 4 touchdown, if Coach Prime when they play Colorado State, if they can score 100 on them, they're gonna score 100 on that game. That Shador can throw for 8 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns. Prime ain't gonna pull him out and nothing. They're gonna try to run it up on him. For my answer, there is gonna be 6. I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah. Watch, just to piggyback off of that. They don't want if Coach Prime wins. How many more NFL players get college coaching opportunities?
Oh, that's what they don't want, man. They don't want that. Especially a brother. They got the accolades, them gold jackets, and they can go get somebody there from the NFL to come up and help them coach. Man, they cutting in their check, boy.
All right. Hey, let's go with Greg. Greg, this year, does Travis Hunter play more on defense or offense?
I think the default is going to have to be defense because just the number of weapons he have on offense. I think the key is keeping him healthy and keeping him fresh. Like I say, for that later half, you do make a run for the playoff or the bowl game. You want him to be not burnt out. So I think by default he don't have to play as much. And like going back to what you just asked BWatts, I think Shador do at least 8 because I'm thinking that Shador is gonna have the line he has, he's gonna throw a lot of 4 touchdown games because just the mere fact he got the weapons. And most teams not gonna be able to match up against his receiver core. He may make a double on one, but you got to double on the other side too. And the fact that he's accurate and that he got extra time, there's no way he don't throw at least 8. So that's what I'm looking at it.
Who Greg with us that did?
No, I like that. Like, so, but you don't think Pat Sherman gonna you don't think he gonna want to run the ball more this year?
Yeah, he gonna do that after he throws 8 touchdowns. That's how he gonna end the game. Like what should have happened to Stanford? You see how he ran on Stanford last year? All right, let's finish it off running it and just run them on the ground, and then let them get there. Yeah,
I like that. Rob, how many games do you think Shiloh? I'm gonna ask you 2 questions. This one. How many games do you think Shiloh gets ejected from for targeting? And I ain't gonna say he actually targeted because I watched UCLA game.
It wasn't targeting.
Hey, they threw him out. That wasn't fair right there.
Wasn't targeting.
No, they wasn't targeting.
So like if you really playing it like so to play up to the question is I'm gonna say it like this: how many times they gonna hate on Shiloh this year? Or do you say Shiloh got a clean slate?
I say my answer truly would be 0. But if it was one game, I'm taking this one game into play. If it was one game he's gonna get ejected from, it'd be UCLA. I mean UCF and Florida.
Oh, why UCF?
It's a home game. Too many of the players from Florida back in the city. That game is gonna have a lot of buzz to it. The national audience, it mess around, have college game day there. It's just the buzz, and it's gonna feel. I don't want to say it's gonna feel like the UCLA from last year, but it's gonna have that type of feel, and they're gonna be watching just every key player, every moment. It's gonna be some bad judgment call from a ref that's gonna call it. But if it was one game, that'd be the game I pick.
Okay, I like that answer. And I'm gonna give you a better question this time. What game do you feel is the trap game for Colorado this year? Like, yeah, we know all the big like the Oklahoma States and all of that we think of beat, like, you know, to have a chance to beat them. What game do you really feel like is a trap game that Colorado should beat, that they may need to just like, hey, make sure you pay special attention to this game, and why?
I'm not gonna say that part. I'm gonna say the trap game for me is, I've been stating this on record, is the UCF game, because it's going into a bye. That's the one that's interesting. They at the crib, a lot of them players at the crib. All the emotions gonna be riding high, and they finna go into a bye. So your mindset gonna be, man, listen, they're gonna be extra hype. They're gonna be over. You know, you playing some games, you just get, you be so hyped that you just mentally, physically just tire yourself out. That's gonna be one of those games where they gonna get over hyped because they got the jitterbuzz. They back at the crib. You got 20 people in the stands of family members and friends that's there supporting you. That's gonna be the game where it's like, yo, don't get too excited, man. Stay in the moment, calm down, because this game can take an L, because we trying to go make every home run play out of this game going into the bye to make sure we get this W before we go play Kansas State. That'll be my game.
Okay. I like that, man. No, that's a hell of an answer. Coach Dre.
Yes, sir.
Who leads Colorado in rushing this year?
Whoa.
Hey, we just gotta be honest with ourselves. I gotta go with the kid from Ohio State, and it's gotta be him. The kid from Arkansas gonna push now. I think the kid from Arkansas gonna push. But right now, if you had to ask me, with my back against the wall, I'm gonna go with Hayden from Ohio State.
Let's take Shiloh out of it. Let's take Shiloh out of this. Let's take Shiloh out of this. Who's the defensive MVP for Colorado at the end of the year?
I'm gonna go with Hill Green, the kid that just transferred in from Charlotte.
Nakai.
Yeah.
Oh, he hard.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
I know Nakai personally.
Oh, you know him?
Yeah, I know Nakai real well.
Hey, is he all about that life?
Yeah,
Nakai was played on the same team with Pop Dumas, who was the inside linebacker at Georgia. Last year, number 10 for Georgia, who was the starter.
Yeah.
Who went to Kentucky. They were the two inside linebackers for St. Francis, whatever year that was. Know Nakai real well. Bro, I'm telling you. What I like about Nakai is, I'm glad you said that too. He's a man. Period.
Right.
Like we talk about kids, we talk about this. Nakai, man, dog. Like he ain't no, like, a lot of times, like when you talk football and you a coach, so you know what I'm about to say. Like sometimes you say, damn, I need somebody with a mustache in that room. that means you got a young room. Right?
Yeah.
That means your room good. I need somebody with a mustache. Bro, hey, buddy ain't no joke. So, man, great call, Coach Dre. I ain't saying just because I said it is great, but I'm telling you from what I know, man, he's a great kid. All right, that's it for my questions, man.
Okay.
Like you say, when you listen to that kid talk, I've listened to him talk in a couple of interviews, and just like you say, just the way he talk, how hungry he is. I just like the kid's spirit and everything else, and I think he can galvanize that defense and galvanize that linebacker room. So, like you say, if you taking Shiloh out of the mix, and like I said, I'm hard pressed to go with him with Shiloh in the mix. I just like that kid. I think he just got it.
I'm gonna tell you one last thing, man. That man, hey, bro, like, when people go on visit, that man went and worked out on his visit, man. And then, hey, Buddy showed me the weight room on his visit, bro.
Wow.
Hey, I said, bro, that's the weight room. He said, yeah, I just got finished with a workout. I said, hey, buddy, hey, he different, dog. I'm telling you, bro. Like, so if I could say anything inside information that I got, but Nakai different.
I got one more question for you, dude.
So let's go.
Knowing all the players that you know that you might have a relationship with on the University of Colorado's roster, who has been the best interaction for its family and player personality wise that you encounter with?
Man, I'm gonna be partial to say Colton, just because like I had him so long. When I say had him, it's like you got to think like before I got into sports media, this is a previous relationship. But even if I didn't have Colton, when he was committed to Michigan State, he was the same kid. When he was committed to Auburn, he was the same. He always been the same. He don't care. And this is what I will say about Colton. When he got ready to transfer, man, Auburn went nuts. They went crazy. They did not want that man to leave. I'm telling you, bro. Like Colton and a lot of the guys in the secondary thought Colton should have been. He was the third corner regardless. Okay. So you look at, and if you really want to get some real information on Colton Hood, go look at Auburn spring game and look at what Cam Coleman did on him. But it was a totally different ball game. Man, Colton surprised so many people. And when he said, okay, you know what? Yeah, I might not have had this recognition, and I know this guy is older than me, but I should be starting. He was like, you know what? All right. I'll show you. And I don't think he did it out of spite, but you got to think he's a legacy kid that left Auburn. So that had to let you know that he wanted to go somewhere like where he could go play right now. I'm telling you, bro, if Colton Hood don't start at Colorado, he's going to be the third cornerback. Because the guys that he was playing with and over, Keontae Scott is an NFL guy. Ken Lee is 1,000% an NFL guy. Colton and Ken, those are the two guys that I heard had the best spring in that secondary. And we're not just talking about them two. Jaron Thompson, who transferred from Texas, Sylvester Smith, 4-star, Terrence Love, 4-star. Like I could go down the list. Man, Colton ball. So if I had anything to say, man, please look out for Colton Hood. Not just because I know him, but he really, and I know more kids, like even the kid that left that went to Austin P. You know, he from over here. You know, it was a big deal when he said what he said, and you know, the Athletic changed his words, and they got to be a war of words on Twitter. He from over here, like okay. You know what I'm saying. But at the same time, I just got to call a spade a spade. He ain't no Colton Hood.
Wow.
Right.
And I treat all of them the same. And if you go look at my social media, you're gonna see it's gonna be a bunch of them guys that follow me and they comment on my stuff because you know I've been the same guy before I even got into sports media. I'm telling you, bro, Colton is special, and he's not the average kid like from the hood, bro. His folks had some, and he takes it that much more strongly and that much more serious to be sure to be like, hey, bro, I ain't had to go through that, but I'm a football player and I'm gonna listen and I'm gonna be coachable. And I think that's why he's a perfect fit for Colorado. Watch what he do.
Okay. All right. We're gonna be looking out for him. All right. Anybody got anything? Yeah. You from Atlanta? Let me go. Shoot, I ain't do all this writing and I ain't gonna use it. So you gonna have to stay here with me, big dog. This rapid fire. Come on with it. You say you from the ATL? Which rapper who the best? Gucci Mane or T.I.?
Best at what?
Rapper.
Just like lyrically, or you just talking
about lyrics wise. Gucci Mane or T.I.?
Yeah, tilt lyrically, but man, when you like, it depends on what we doing. Like we going out right now, and we finna go to the spot. We going to Central Station, like that used to be in East Point. That's on Old National right now.
Yeah.
Then walk. But come on, man, walk. Go, bro. That man said I started off my day with a blunt of perk. No champagne, just a cup of syrup. If you know, you know.
You know, boy. You're right. Okay, so gonna stay right there in that rap game because you for the ATL. Yeah. 2 Chainz or Ludacris?
Titty boy.
Titty boy.
Titty boy, gotta go with Tit, bro. Like, yeah. 2 Chainz, Taheed Epps, know him very well. Yeah, gotta go with Tit. The reason being, he stayed down so long until he got his shot. He was loyal. He did everything he was supposed to do. And it was crazy because he was up under Luda the whole time, but Wayne gave him the break. Y'all remember Duffel Bad Boys?
Yeah, that's bad boy. Yeah.
Yeah, they shot that. Like, anybody who been down there, you know, they shot that off Old National on Gottby.
Joe did.
And shot it at my Uncle Club Throwbacks, Big Wayne for Throwback. They shot it there. I'm telling you, bro, he waited his time. Former athlete, waited his time, and when he hit, he didn't play. So I'm going with Tit because I feel like the road that he went through, even though he had Luda who was there, Luda already worked at the radio station. So
Right.
it was kind of like, it was a little different. And not taking nothing away from him. But Luda really from Chicago. He moved down here like in 9th grade. We talking about a born and raised College Park guy. He's from the Riverdale side of College Park, like the Clayton County side, but really it's Fulton. I'm going with 2 Chainz.
All right, man. All right. All right. Who had the best record? Walker, Flocka, Flame, or Soldier Boy?
Man, Walker, bro. Like, you talking about the
That
most
Walker,
selling?
hey, that Walker was something, boy. Wasn't it?
Hey, bro,
It
like
was
you talking
hit
about
button.
selling, like you talking about selling? Yeah. Yeah, okay, cool. But you just talking about some, we wasn't expecting it. Walker, who you could go see anytime. Walker was out here for real. Like, you know,
Right, he
he
was.
so he a
Yeah.
big, tall ass kid,
He
big, tall
sure
white
is.
kid who always be out. I don't know a lot of people who done seen Soulja Boy out. I know a ton of people. I just see, like, we'll see him, and he was younger than us, but we'll just, everybody respecting him. Like, you know, they can say what they want to say about his mama and like his mama being in the game and managing Gucci, but no, Walker, like now Flop, a real guy, and when hard, like not even hard in the paint. Oh, let's do it. He put, first of all, he put Lil Cap on the song. Lil Cap very well known, and then he came back with It's a Party and put Kibo Gotti on it. These are guys who are really well respected where we from. So on the south side of Riverdale, so. Nah, I got the utmost respect for him. Like, it ain't everything gonna check out about Walker when you come to the city.
Yeah, that ain't It's a Party. It's a Party was a hit, boy. All right, this for everybody here. All right, linebacker. Who y'all got in college? LeVar Arrington when he played at Penn State. Von Miller at Texas A&M. Start with you, Coach Dre.
Hey, I'm biased, but I'm going with Penn State. I'm going with LeVar Arrington. That kid was an animal at Penn State. I just haven't seen nothing like him. He long, lanky, and when he came through the hole, he was trying to knock your head off. He was a real animal. So I gotta go with LeVar Arrington at Penn State.
I'm going
All right,
LeVar
bro.
Arrington. This kind of
You
easy
going?
for me. LeVar Arrington.
Okay, great.
Same here. You jumping over people's head like a wild animal. You know, that's what I remember.
What you think, what you think, Duke?
LeVar, bro. Like that, hey, that defense was crazy. Y'all remember they had, I think they had Courtney Brown in that defense too.
Yeah,
I think so.
Courtney
Yeah.
Brown.
Yeah.
Courtney Brown, and it was somebody else. It was like 3 first rounders on that defense. So
Yeah. But LeVar was special. Just to keep it at what it is, yeah, LeVar was special, bro.
All right. NFL tight end. Shannon Sharp, Tony Gonzalez, Gates, Antonio Gates. Greg.
I guess I'll go with Gates. I mean, I think somebody who take the path that he came in with, just kind of being a basketball guy to that level. I mean, I don't know you can beat that.
For me, it's depending on what you need. Because I'm more Tony Gonzalez, but I can also go Gates in that sense too. It's just about what you need. We talking about run blocking, pass blocking, you know, or we talking about pass catching. It all depends on what you need. But in this instance, I'm gonna go with Tony Gonzalez.
Thank Coach Dre.
You're on mute.
I'm gonna go with Shannon Sharp because I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna go with Sharp because Sharp was a big receiver that moved in the tight end, and he was a great blocker. If you go back and watch his film, he was a dog blocker. And then when we went to the 4 wide, we didn't have to bring him off the field. So that's the kind of tight end I like. the one that I ain't got to bring off the field when I go 4 wide. So me, I'm going with Sharp.
What you got, Mr. Phillip Duke?
Man, I think everybody, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I like Gronk, bro. Gronk was so hard, bro, man. He was 6'7" with it, bro. It was a little different. He ain't had to jump, man. And then the way he finished his blocks, I don't think none of the other three finished their blocks the way Gronk did. Now,
okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take the wild card. I'm gonna take Gronk, bro.
I'm gonna take the wild card. All right, this is my last one right here. Tim Brown when he was at Notre Dame, or Desmond Howard when he was at Michigan. Go ahead, Rod. Take it on. Tim Brown, Desmond Howard. Who had a better?
Howard. I'm gonna roll Desmond Howard.
Desmond Howard.
Yeah. That was the tough one though, because I wanted to go Tim Brown, but I'm gonna go Desmond.
Well, Tim Brown was all of that, boy.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know what you're thinking, but I'm going with Timmy. I'm going with Timmy Brown, man. What he did at Notre Dame, you know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Dez, because I think Dez was a hell of a guy. But what Tim Brown did, you can't knock Tim.
Yeah, I go Tim Brown.
All right. Phillip, what you got?
What boy did?
He did that pose, that high pose. I saw you.
Hey, what? Hey, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'm 41. I ain't really see Tim Brown, bro.
Oh, okay. You didn't see Tim Brown?
I ain't see him. I saw Desmond Howard. That's when I first woke up on the sports. But I say this, stat-wise, you got to go with Tim Brown. But, man, Desmond Howard just did some things in college that we thought he was going to do in the league that he wasn't able to do. But in college, though, hey, man, that mother was dynamite, dog.
Yeah. So who had a better college career out of the two people I talked to y'all about first? Percy Harvin or Peter Ward? And we're gonna end it with that.
I mean, you gotta go Peter Ward in that situation when you talk about, but you can't. What Percy Harvin did on the big stages, back-to-back national championships, that's tough. But I'm gonna go.
Hey, that Percy Harvin was a different type of dude, boy.
Yeah, you can get him the ball in all type of ways, but
all kind of ways.
But I'm gonna go because Percy Harvin, that was one of my like one of them guys that you turn the TV on, you watching. And not to say you don't do that with Peter, but man, I'm gonna go with Peter Ward on this one.
What's the thing on Coach Drake, Florida boy?
What you think, man? He comes from the place, man. I got to see that up close and personal, man. Listen, ain't nothing like Percy Harvin, boy. Like,
well, that dude was different, boy.
You get what I'm saying? Like I told you, I ain't no Gator fan because I know what they do down here. But when Harvin was in the place, hey, listen, man, it wasn't nothing like it, man. Just get him the football and get out the way. You know what I'm saying? And I think if them headaches and the migraines wouldn't have got with him, I think he'd have had a better professional career. But man, when you talking about getting the ball in somebody's hands and making it happen, you know what I'm saying? I love P-Dub, and P-Dub was what it was at Florida State. You know what I'm saying? But you can't knock Percy Harvin. Percy Harvin the guy.
Yeah, I'll go same Percy Harvin. I mean, I know this generation. I mean, I know they both, but Percy Harvin definitely memorable in that time he was at. He was a little dude, and I think they say he was probably one of the strongest guys on the team. I remember that, being a little dude, as far as his squad and his bench. I remember that kind of stuff. So definitely, he was an all-around athlete, speed and strength.
Yeah. I'm going Percy, man. Just on the strength of like with Peter Ward, what we end up saying, like, man, faking people out is one thing, but running away from people is another. And bro,
it's crazy.
Man, Percy used to run away from people, dog. And I love P-Dub. P-Dub, bro. Hey, Pete, boy, I see you. Hey, man, listen. No, hey, I don't mean nothing by it. Hey, boy, you cannot run with my boy. Boy, Percy was getting up out of there, boy.
That's be different.
That bad boy was something there, man. Man, my internet acting up again. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yes, sir. You good?
My internet acting up, man. But hey, that's it for me. That's all I got, man. I just want to say I appreciate y'all. It was a good show, man. I want to thank everybody that tuned in.
Man, I lost him.
Yeah, if you talking now, we can't hear you. I just say this, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to everybody channel. Phillip Deuce, he gonna shout out his, his channel, man. Y'all and where to go follow him at. Make sure y'all go follow everybody. Make sure y'all hit that like button, support, so we can keep bringing this to y'all every single week, every Sunday. Y'all know this is the place to be. Y'all never know who's coming on with us, man. But we always appreciate you guys for supporting this movement that we growing each and every week. And I'm gonna kick it to Greg, and we're gonna Coach Ray, then we'll finish it off, dude. Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I'm actually loud folks everywhere. But I'm Greg. Greg said it, check out what we're doing here. We go live on Sundays for the most part. Do some things with BWatts sometimes here. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe so you can catch us throughout the week as well. Appreciate y'all having me here tonight.
Anytime, bro. Anytime.
Again, man, we appreciate everybody who tuned in tonight for rocking with us. Appreciate Deuce for coming on and rocking with us, man. We just some brothers that, me and Rob, what I'm saying, we got together. We started over there on Life and Football, and we still rock with Colin. Was glad to see bro on here. You get what I'm saying? We just some people that's trying to bring us together. You get what I'm saying? Because we can do this, and we can show people that, that we can all come together for one common goal. And so BWatts, we started me and bro, and we've been rocking with him ever since. So you know where to find us on Sunday. I ain't no content creator, man. I'm just a high school coach from little old Gainesville, Florida, man. But like I always say, if you send no ships out, no ships will come in. And if there's no contest, nobody can win. Games can't be won if they haven't been played, and prayers can't be answered if they haven't been prayed. I'm your boy Coach Drake. Go ahead, Duke.
Well, I don't even want to say nothing. And I took her to church, boy. Man, say Coach Drake First Baptist, boy. Hey, talking about. Hey, man. Hey, Deuce to Scoop. Hey, man, let me tell you something. It's so good to be able to get on here and be myself for real, for real. Like, I do all that On3 stuff. That's cool. But, man, dog, like, they got no idea, bro. And I'll say this. Man, if I ain't did nothing else, if I ain't trying to do nothing, I talked to Coach Prime about this personally, man, like on some real talk. I swear to God, man, really it's about us building each other up and actually figuring out how do we control our narrative. Like, what's your truth? Like, everybody on this screen right now got their own truth and their own relationship with football. Well, how do we present that to the masses? Because they don't tell us how we supposed to feel about it. So I just think it's important that we continue to just keep doing this. And bro, if you see me get out of code, and I want everybody watching this, especially the guys that I'm on this show with, if you see me get out of code, man, check me for sure. And y'all can follow me, Deuce the Scoop. But yeah, make sure y'all check me too.
As always, man. BWatts, you good?
As always, man.
Go ahead, Coach.
I think the screen's still messed up. But yeah, man, we just appreciate y'all, man. And BWatts always say, man, if you be good to God, God will be good to you, man. And I'm always tell y'all, man, hey, be a blessing because you are a blessing. Hey, man, this been BWatts Entertainment, Rob the Man, my boy Greg said it, and my man the Duke. I am Coach Dre. We out.
Peace.